Welcome to the Gilded Flask, where adventure is never far. Glad to have you as our guest. My name is Barry, and I will be your dungeon master for this session number 27. Oh my. And I'm joined with three wonderful people. Please introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm Anne. I play Kala Lilacart, and I think it's the ghosts that are doing all this technical difficulties.
Hi there, I'm Daniel. I play John Varenthal, the paladin with a conquest against IT technicians. Also, human paladin of Midnight.
And I'm Marissa. I play Casariel, the ASMR Twilight cleric with plenty of mommy and daddy issues.
Oh, how fitting. If you have never visited our place before, then welcome. We are live on Twitch. We are on YouTube, and now we also have our own podcast, which has everything up to episode 26 ready for you to listen to in the car or on the go. Oh, yes, we are everywhere. So proud of that. If you're curious about all of our socials, you can also find those, plus all the links that I just said on thegildedflask.com. Make sure to check it out, and you can follow us everywhere. Please, we love your follow there. We have a couple of awesome people that we would love to shout out because they have helped us create this amazing show in one way or another. And those people are in no particular order: the Zondra and Paradox for the amazing character art that we have, Pyram King, James RPG Art, and DM Andy for creating the wonderful maps and content that we can use to visualize our campaign. And then we have Tabletop Audio, Scott Buckley, Phoenix Music, Alex Kazan, and Alexander Nakarada for the great musical scores that we have in the background. Additionally, we would like to thank Scarlet Feathers for making the amazing armor set that Daniel is currently wearing, and Aconite Creations for this stunning chest piece that Marissa currently has. It looks absolutely amazing. And with that, let's head into the tale.
Tell me, do you like ghost stories? I've been investigating people vanishing mysteriously into the night, never to return. It looks like I've found out where they've been.
Good evening.
I don't like this place. The air feels heavier.
Did you hear that?
What do you mean he's watching?
In this place, nothing is what it seems.
We come from an ancient land.
There's no time for this. What are you looking for?
This place has taken my father and my mother. It will not have me.
We gotta move, now!
Oh, I do love a good mystery.
Barovia is mine, and so are you.
And for the 27th time, I'm going to totally say it. That intro is just so amazing. It's so rad. It's so out there. I love it. This intro made by our very own Marissa. Thank you so much for that. It looks like you're looking at a Netflix series. Absolutely amazing. Right. So where were we last week? Last week, you guys did a couple of things. You went to read another chapter from Strahd's diary, chapter number 4, where you learned about not Irina, you learned about Tachana being a guest from the village close to Castle Ravenloft, being a guest for Strahd and some other people at the dinner table, where you guys were as well. It was a rather interesting dinner, rather uncomfortable. A lot of wine was, spilled. Rather than drunk, it was alcohol abuse, if I can ever say anything about that. But hey, it was interesting. Ultimately, you learned about the love affair going on between Strahd's brother, Sergei, and Irina's, well, predecessor, I'd almost want to say, Tatjana. And Strahd not being happy about that he's being called the Old One, and being left to the side where he actually carries a bit of a torch for Tatjana. Very intriguing, very interesting. And you've seen quite a bit of that. After that, you went back to the windmill, where the hags once were, to visit a place just behind that. Before you did that, actually, you also went to pick up a treasure that was near the waterfall.
Oh, yeah.
And you were very creative in picking that up because, our very own Casariel can fly under the right conditions. And so you just dipped down there, it was like, okay, mine, and she went up again twice. And you guys got a lot of gold out of that without any combat whatsoever. Really well done. Then you went back to the windmill, and behind the windmill there was a Fey circle, which you looked at. You solved the little puzzle to actually get into the Fey circle. You defeated the Fey hound that was guarding that place. You cleaned it up a bit. And then you ran into one of the Fays, the Forest Fane, which, after an uneasy talk, gave you something long and hard.
Not this week. Not this week. We're not doing
Not
it
this week. No. She gave you a Fey staff, which has some magical properties, being the fact that you can heal the entire party for 1d8 plus 3, I believe, once per dusk. And she gave that to John.
Is it +3 or plus my spellcasting modifier?
Plus your spellcasting modifier, but that is 3 at the moment, isn't it?
I think it's 4.
Oh, okay, so +4. Wow.
I'm 18 charisma, baby.
Oh,
Hell
look at
yeah.
you.
Very
So
charismatic.
1d8 plus 4 once per day as a free extra healing. It's great. With that, you are exiting out of the Fey circle, and you're standing on the grass. And that is where we ended last week. So my question to you, as is every week, is what is your next move?
Okay. When I look at the map for Argynvostholt, is it before or after Vallaki? So, like, if we're going towards Kresk, is it, like, on the way? Is Vallaki before it or after?
Well, let me, as a matter of fact, we started now with the Forest Fane, but you guys are pretty much done here, right? So we can go to the main map, and I can point it out. It might be easier.
Excellent.
So let me grab the map of Barovia. Here we are. And if memory serves, I shared a picture with you. Yes, I did, which I can quickly reshare, I believe.
Is that the hand-drawn map?
Yeah, but I think, like, if I show it like this, you guys can only see the part where you have, like, discovery at the moment, right?
Yeah, it has a dark area where we can't see, and then where all we've gone has like a shaded area.
Right. So I will move that away again because that's not going to help. But basically, from the hand-drawn map, knowing that there is such a thing as Argynvostholt in the general area beyond Vallaki, if you look at the hand-drawn map, you will notice that just over the bridge to the west of Vallaki, there is a path going to the south. And apparently, along that path lies a castle, which might just be what you're looking for.
Perfect. So we have to go past Vallaki. All right.
Yes.
That's perfect. John,
Yes.
according to the map, that from when I've had someone point it out to me, serious forces, Argynvostholt is just beyond Vallaki, so I think what would be best is we will go there, Vallaki first, pick up maybe some supplies from the potion maker perhaps, and also we will get your armor because we now have enough. Thank you, Casariel.
Yes, thank you, Casariel. I still don't really understand, buying armor. We always had it commissioned by the Silver Star. They always just gave it to us.
Well, I mean, do you have your own armorers within the Silver Star? I suppose if they're working for you, it makes sense, but
Never
he's
really thought
not.
about that.
Yeah.
But
Right.
either way, I really appreciate it. It'd be good to
Less you go down,
not be stabbed.
the better. I also think if your life is in less danger, your friend might stay away. He seems to only come out during the more perilous or trying of times.
I don't remember anything from Dr. Daskaloo's house.
It was rough. So, Vloki, armor, and then Argynvost to maybe get some answers from
I know that
before
Argynvost had
Strahd's time.
something to do with what, I'm sorry, prompt me again. What was the name of the dusk elf that we talked to?
Casimir.
Casimir. He mentioned it, right? What is that Argynvostholt? As far as I know, it's a ruin, right?
It is. We know that the knights of Argynvost were a trying order. We met one of them. We know that they were one of the people that Strahd conquest when he first conquested this land. He would have overtaken them, I think, from my notes. We also know that apparently Casariel's father might have fallen there, or at least he fell there. And when I reached out to try and contact him, it showed me Argynvostholt, so I think that's where he lays, and we might be able to get some answers about Strahd, about him. We also, another point that we seem to have to get from Madame Eva is something related to amber doors. And when we were in our vision, wasn't in the journal for Strahd during the big battle, amber doors were prominent there, were they not, for Argynvostholt? There might be something there we can use. I might be getting my notes mixed up. My memory coming back has been trying.
Do you think she means amber like the rock? Like somebody built a door out of a rock?
Either the rock or maybe a colour.
Well, I guess we won't know until we go there.
Yes, we need more answers, and all I have is questions.
all I have is this, and he holds up his new stick of healing.
Oh my. Was that from her?
Yeah, the lady who lived down in the hole. She, the one who was the Fane. She gave me this and said something about it. It has a slot, and he holds up to show you the end of it. I almost said the tip. And it says, she said something about that stone that we gave to Strahd might fit here. I don't know. Apparently, it can still channel some form of healing properties. So I'm sure we'll find a use for that.
Yes. Hopefully. Will we trek out? Is there anything else we need from here?
Look around a bit. This place feels dead. I don't think there's anything more we can do for it.
Very well. And Carla will lead the party back out to the road.
Alrighty. A familiar road by now, going back to Vloki. You've been down this road a couple of times already.
Okay.
We also have a new pause thingy right now that says like a selection of 5 different things. And it's different for all of you as well, by the way, I've noticed.
Mine says give me a second as well.
Yeah. As you're traveling back, the sun starts to set. So you're getting closer towards evening. Carla, you notice on the ground a little ways in front of you something shiny.
If it's another mirror, I will cautiously get within about 10 feet of it, and then I will use the mage hand to pick up whatever it is.
It seems to be a small locket or pendant or something.
I'm going to look around and see if there's anything about to attack me as I try to bring the pendant closer to me.
Give me a perception check on that.
Duck? Ooh, that's a 21.
There's nothing out there to get you at the moment.
At the moment, okay. I'll draw the locket closer to me, and as soon as it's close to me, I will identify.
It, as in magically identify, or just look at it?
Magically identify.
All right. There is some subtle residual magic coming from this locket. It's hard to pinpoint what school it is from because it's residual. That does mean that it does not have any magical properties anymore per se, save for some residue. What you notice is that the locket, even though it's been lying on the ground, is lukewarm to the touch. And upon looking at it, you notice that if you open it, the locket itself is empty, save for two things. On one side, there's an engraving in there, and seeing as the locket is made of silver, the engraving itself is of a silver dragon. Secondly, on the inside, there is a very subtle covering of some material. It's hard to make out what it is because it's kind of dense, but your first guess probably is going to be that this just might be cobweb or something.
Oh. Oh, well, silver items are always important to keep. I'm going
What
to
do you have there, Carla?
show it to both of them. A pendant with a silver dragon on it. There also seems to be some residual magic on it, but I can't. It's not strong enough to identify, and it's whatever it is, it's still not on it. So
Did we,
I'm going to hold it up.
when we were in our dreams of the books and whatever that is, we still need to talk about that at some point. I feel like there was there a roar? It sounded like a dragon or something loud.
Yes.
And
We
what-
did.
what's going on with that?
Argynvostholt, I believe, either he was a silver dragon or there was some worship of a silver dragon within the hold. We did see it perched upon Argynvostholt in the dreams, or the journal, whatever's happening there.
Do you think there's, I mean, that was however many years ago that Saint Andrew guy died, I think.
Centuries. Yes.
They probably don't live that long, right? So don't have to worry about anything.
I don't know much about dragonology and draconology, whatever it's called, but I do think they
Dragonography?
live for a long time, but Strahd and his men are still, well, Strahd is still here, and he went up against it to some capacity if the journal is to be believed, so if one of them is alive and one of them isn't, if we've seen one and not the other, then it might be a safe bet that perhaps the dragon's not here still. Hopefully. And if not, then we'll just... Pardon?
Nothing. I don't know what the study of dragons is.
I don't know either. They're not that interesting to me. But, I wouldn't like to be eaten by one. That wouldn't be fun.
Agreed.
So we'll be cautious, but dead dragon, there might be a hoard somewhere. If I can get anything out of this, gold would be nice. I'm going to take the locket and I'm going to wear it. Carla's going to put it on.
All right, you can. And as you still notice, the locket is lukewarm, and funnily enough, when it touches your skin and it stays there for a second, usually metallic jewelry just takes basically the temperature of your body. This thing stays perpetually the same temperature.
Interesting. All right. Well, I'm sure that'll be a plot in fact later. No, okay, let's continue on if there's nothing else around.
Alrighty. You reached Valaki. You said you wanted to go in there, right?
Yes.
And you can. You approach the town gates, and they will recognize you, letting you in, since there's no reason to stop you just yet. And
Just
after
yet?
the gates, never a hint, you know me.
Yeah.
And you arrive.
John Hawk saying, "We're friends with that guy with the weird arm."
I'm just gonna roll for that if they even heard that.
Oh, God.
You're so lucky. I got a 3. No, they didn't hear that.
Why would it matter if I was lucky? I mean, he's important here, and we've talked to him. We talked to him, and he didn't even fight us. That's friends in my book.
Mm-hmm. He let us beat up Lingari, I mean, top-notch fellow. All right. Let's go to the armorer first.
John almost like rushes a little bit forward to because he's excited to see the armor.
The armor shop is still open, but is about to close, so you're just in time.
So I'll just stop in and be like, hello, sir. Hi.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
Yes, Horik, right?
Yes. Yes, and
So
you were the lady of the armor, weren't you?
We're clients.
Yes. We're clients, yes. We have to, it was your, was it Rowley that was making our armor, or was it you?
We can both do it.
Oh.
And which one's better?
It's already made, right? It's already done.
Yes. Yes, the armor should be ready for you.
Excellent. I have the other half of the payment here, 350 gold, and I'll hand it over.
Wonderful. He accepts it. And he says, let me, because we were just about to close shop, but allow me to bring you inside and we can see if it fits.
Wonderful. I got to update my my sheet. All right, in we go.
And as you walk in, you see that Horik and Rowley are quickly discussing in some hushed voice, and you hear, "This really wasn't it. Didn't sell it, did you? Damn it." And as you walk in, they both turn around and say, "Yes, your armor is ready over here." And Rowley just quickly steps into a little back room and comes back out with a suit of metal armor.
What didn't you sell? Sorry, is there something interesting happening? I'm going to say, and as I'm kind of looking at him, charm person to see if I can try and persuade him to tell me.
On who?
On whoever said you didn't sell it, did you?
Horik said that. Let me quickly check his stats. What's the save on that?
It is a DC 14 wisdom save.
Wisdom. That that's a 14 -1. So
Slay. Okay, great.
Love it.
Yes. So I'm going to be like, oh, were you worried about selling it to someone else? But we commissioned it personally.
Yes, and it was also like it was a misunderstanding, but this is your suit. There is an engraving on here as per your request. It is very much your suit of armor. I was just inquiring about, well, other things that we sell.
Oh, what other things do you sell?
Well, whatever we have over here, like weapons and armor.
Anything interesting? Like, we're definitely in the market for something very interesting. I'm going to say as I'm kind of like handing John the armor pieces.
Well, I mean, we are the best armor smiths in the city, you see. And
Are there any other arms?
No, but that's beside the point, sir. We had a small order of swords that was going out today, which we're very fond of. It was quite nice to make a set of swords rather than, just one. And I was wondering where they were.
Oh, so it's interesting. A set of swords that implies some sort of militia or group that needs them. You don't see any patrolling around here at the moment, do you?
No, it was bound for Kresk.
Kresk. Oh, okay.
Are they fighting someone?
They're protecting themselves, I hope, at least. But I'm glad to know that they're doing that with our swords.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
Do I get the feeling that he's, like, avoiding something or not telling me something?
He's being, he is under the charm spell right now, so I am being liberal with the information as per the charm spell. However, It does feel that he still withholds a little professional courtesy as you would with your clients. That being said, he is being pretty loose-lipped with you right now, and it feels like he's just proud of the work that he did.
Okay, interesting. All right, well, thank you for the armor. It'll keep John alive a little longer, at least.
I like
if you want to, if you don't want to try it on, you can use our back room over here.
John's halfway disrobed.
Sir, there are ladies. Okay.
I
We'll
I'm part of a barracks with 50 men and 50 women. We never had a problem before. So there is a level of clothing that goes under his chainmail that he's not taking off, but he's just taking off his chainmail essentially.
I am so happy that you said that because I was already picturing John just going like bum naked into a suit of armor, which isn't something you shouldn't do. But
Carla's going to hold open the bag of holding for him to throw the chainmail into if he wants.
Yeah, just dump it. Yeah, this is Silver Star level, quality gear. I don't know if I should sell it at this place. I don't think we should sell it at all. I probably actually owe it back to. Now that I think about it, they gave it to me. I don't think I actually bought it, so I don't know if I own this. Huh.
Well, you own the plate, so, in the bag, toss it in.
I'd say we own it. Thank you, by the way. He'll start piecing it on, or if they're bringing it out, he'll start, wearing it.
They will help you into the suit of armor because, like, putting on the suit of armor is a bit of a job almost. Like that's not just like a shirt, right? There's a lot of different
1 minute
pieces.
Or 10 minutes? It's like a more than an action. You can't just get out.
Yeah, no, like in game, if memory serves, but I can look it up if you want. I believe it takes a full 5 minutes to put on or take off a full suit of armor, which is a game mechanic that is being very liberal with reality. There's a reason why they're squires, so to speak. Still, after a little while, you will have this entire suit of armor on. And it fits rather well, actually. They got your measurements pretty right. And while it looks a little different than you in a set of chain, it definitely makes you look like a force to be reckoned with. That's what plate does to you.
I feel like a force to be reckoned with.
You look like one, too. Unfortunate about the, intelligence. She'll say quietly into the bag.
Yeah, he didn't really get it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Okay. When I'm kind of looking around this room, is there anything big and shiny that's catching my eye that I could possibly take?
There's a very big bear trap not too far from you on a crate.
Okay. No, I feel like that would be very noticeable if I take it. Okay, never mind then.
Yes. The bear trap is about your size. It's about one Carla. So it's...
It would be handy, though, if we wanted to set up any traps for anything. No. I'll be good. I'll be good, and I'll leave. All right, well, I think our business here is done. Just before I go, is there any fun little rumors happening in town at the moment? I'm going to look directly at Horik as I say this. Have you heard anything interesting going on that we should be, wary of before we head out?
Well, there is a new festival coming up. I believe tomorrow or the day after.
What is it?
It's a wicker festival, something with wicker. I'm not exactly sure what, but they're going to burn something, which is always fun. There's currently just some sticks being delivered to the Burgomaster's mansion, I believe, in preparation. So that's always something. Other than that, there is a big change coming in the Blue Water Inn at the moment. It's closed.
Oh my!
Wait, what? Why?
The Marjakov's one.
Yes, it's closed for. I believe they're redoing something. They're rebuilding or something, but they're closed at the moment. But they should be opening soon, is what they said.
Aren't we supposed to be meeting somebody there?
Eventually, yes. And she's going to kind of look over at Casariel a little bit.
If it's closed.
But and she'll kind of lean over. We did technically stop wine production. Makes sense, but they might be closed.
Yeah, they had a lot in those barrels, though. So I hope they were able to keep a couple batches going.
Hopefully.
Well, I mean, if you're doing a remodeling, I don't think you're broke, right? I mean, that costs money.
Oh, they're doing a remodeling.
That's from what I heard, yes.
Oh, well, fantastic. Maybe they're wealthy. I don't know. Speaking of remodeling, by the way, if anyone needs help with the Wicker Man, we've actually come into contact with one recently, and if you need any design tips, we took one down.
Yes, if it starts walking around and like behaving strangely, fire, very good. magic, very good. If it has a glowing thing in its chest, just yank that out. That should work as well. All right, potions. Shall we go get some potions?
Yes. Bye. Thanks for the
Hort
armor.
Hort takes a step forward to Carla and he says, so if you do look for a place to stay now that the Blue Water Inn is closed, I mean, I'm sure maybe, you know, I mean, I don't want to impose, but...
Do you run an inn?
No. Well, never mind.
Are you
If I-
implying a sleepover, sir?
Well,
Because
you
I'm
get charmed.
not saying no.
well, you know, very. I will keep it in mind. You are big, you're big and strong. Yes, okay. Everyone out! Come on! I'm gonna start herding them out.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Come on, Casariel.
When we're out here, I'm going to try to catch Casariel's eye. Casariel, you're all right. You've been a little bit quiet recently. I know got a lot of big things going on, but how are you feeling?
Fine, John. I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Just,
Right.
you know, getting ready for what may come.
I'll be here with you for whatever happens.
Yeah. The armor does look nice on you, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Also, one more thing about the armor. There is indeed an engraving on it. Basically, on the front upper pectoral, your right one, there is an engraving of your name. Carla, however, did speak your name, but she didn't spell it out. So it is spelled John.
I hate it.
Just to F with you.
It's a good thing John can't spell.
I can spell my name.
If you ask very nicely, Carla will try to get that out for you. But if you're not going to, then suffer.
I don't think he noticed it initially, but he's going to see it at some point and be like, "Has that always been there?"
You get like a perception of 11 or something, right? Like you did not
No,
notice
I
this.
actually have a decent perception.
Like
Better
you passive.
perception than I do.
Yeah, passive
Yeah.
13.
Oh, wow. That's actually... Okay, you...
I probably
We'll
noticed
rule
it.
it as that you haven't seen it for now, but...
I was on the inside of the armor putting it on, so I haven't really gotten a good look at the front of it.
Yeah, that's a good...
Oh,
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Hello. Pop up onto the top of the counter. Hello.
Anya will put her elbows on the counter and lower herself a little bit, looking at you, placing a little bit more on the counter as well and saying, hello.
So your healing potions were fabulous in terms of you know, keeping us alive on our adventures. I'm wondering if you have a restock.
Of health potions? Yes, I have 2 at the moment.
Oh, I'll take both of them. How much? Oh wait, how much are they?
They're 50 gold apiece.
I can afford it. Right. I'll take both of them. Thank you very much. And I'll slide over 100 gold.
And you can take 2 healing potions into your inventory.
Excellent.
And I actually do have a single greater healing potion, so I'm fine for now.
Wonderful. So then I will hand one to Casariel and I'll take one for myself. All right. Excellent. Do you have anything interesting in stock?
Well, that depends on what you're looking for. Some things are interesting to one and not to another. I have lizard eyes if you're interested in that.
Things that might enhance abilities or keep us safe while we're sort of adventuring in this land.
What kind of
I
lizard?
made a couple of flasks. Newts. Newts are lizards, right? Yes. They're family. They're eyes. I made a batch of some flasks of alchemist fire.
Ooh.
And I do have a potion of poison.
Mm-hmm.
And a potion of cold resistance.
Cold resistance. I think those alchemist's fires could be very interesting. Casariel, didn't you pick up like a load of herbs when we were at Daskalu's place last?
I did.
Yes, some interesting flowers. Maybe we would be interested in a trade. We have some very interesting clippings that could help you with your potions, if for maybe one of those.
I'm always open to bargain. Sure. What do you have?
Carla,
so-
1 second before you,
Okay.
do either of you know how to make potions?
No.
Oh,
No.
Never mind.
I'm a academic, not a researcher. Yes. I work in theory, not practice. Yes. So Carol is going to pull out the collection of herbs that Casariel got from Dr. Daskalu's place and show them
Anything in
and be like,
particular that you guys want to keep from that, or is it just like you dump all on the counter?
we're not using them, are we?
I don't think there was anything specific, was it? I'm looking now.
No, I didn't name them because you guys weren't really going into alchemy or potion making. Of course, you still can if you'd want to, but at this moment, also with the knowledge that you have about it, it's just a bunch of plants for you. Which you
Okay.
you guesstimate this is probably useful since Daskalu kept it.
Right. Yeah, I'll just put them all up there then. Or Carla will.
Yep. Take them out of the bag of holding and show her the collection that we have. And I'm like, is that, maybe a trade that we could do for perhaps one of those alchemy fire potions?
She looks at the clippings and says, "There's a couple of interesting specimens here. These are ones that you don't find usually, like growing by the side of the road. Where did you get this?"
Oh, an old friend was leaving sort of his area, so he just gave us his home and he had some of these growing.
I was gonna say he's dead and he doesn't need them anymore.
He did unfortunately die on the road out, so but we got his house, so.
So you see her pointing at a couple of leaves, and she says, "So this is witch tongue, which is pretty uncommon. Over here is Baratok crushed ice. That's really rare. That's usually only grows in the mountains. And this is rock dust, which is a weird name for a plant, but it is what it is.
No, it's not.
It's." She looks up at you. She says, "Are you questioning my knowledge on plants?"
It's not. It's obviously not rock dust. It's a plant.
He's not very bright. He's not, he's very pretty to look at though. Lovely hair.
That I agree with, she says.
Yeah.
I'm very bright when Casariel. Never mind.
All this together, I could trade you a couple of things, but this is worth quite a bit. This is a small fortune in plants. I'll be able to make quite a few potions with this. So the potion of poison that I have is worth about 100 gold. I can trade you that plus 2 bottles of alchemist's fire, which are 50 each for dispatch.
Excellent. I'll take it.
What's a potion of poison? I've heard of poison before, but I've never heard of a potion of poison.
And she whips the little bottle out, and the bottle itself looks like a potion of healing. She says, "So this, make sure that you don't mix this up with the other ones that you have."
You just sold us one of those for 50 gold, and now you're selling us for 100?
Well,
She turns to Carla and Casariel. She says, "This looks like a potion of healing, but it's not."
So there's an added element of illusion there. Excellent. Okay.
And she says, "Don't drink it," but she pulls the stopper out and she lets you smell it like a little bit. She says, "Don't worry, like the smell won't kill you."
Okay. Carla's going to take a bit of like twine from her bag and just kind of like mark off the bottle, like the top of the bottle with that. She's going to like tie it there. So it looks kind of like a decorative ribbon, but it's just very clearly marking that it's the potion of poison, and put that in her bag as well as the other two.
That works. She says, "So if you smell this, it smells like a healing potion. It even tastes like a healing potion. However, if you drink this, it will be very, very nasty." And that is in-game talk for it'll deal 3d6 poison damage. And that character has to make a Constitution saving throw or be poisoned. So it's nasty.
Ooh. Very nice. Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you.
And this poison, by the way, what it does is for every round after that for a long time, they basically take 3d6 poison damage each round.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
It's very powerful. The only thing is they need to imbibe it. So
that's fair. That's fair. Okay. I'll add that to my stuff. So is that a potion that I can add?
I believe the
Poison?
potion of poison is a default potion. So have a
It
look
is.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
And
we
Alchemist
got it.
Fire is as
And
well.
excellent. I remember we had some of that in the Death House, so I'm excited to have more.
Yes. It's basically D&D's version of a Molotov cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can use it in recipes as well, because there are a couple of recipes that actually require Alchemist Fire. But you can just chuck it at someone and just laugh at the result. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
This seems like a very fair trade. Lovely speaking to you as always, Anya. Tell me, is there anything interesting going on in town that we should be aware of? You know, any hot gossip?
well, story goes that the Blue Water Inn is currently being remodeled. Other than that, I don't think there is anything special right now. Yeah, there's another festival coming in, but you know.
Typical, of course. Good to know. Thank you so much. All right.
Very welcome.
Is there anything else you two would like to do in Vallaki? We could take a stop into the bookshop and try and get some information on the different pieces that we found recently.
Do you want to see if the Roses, they were talking about hiring somebody at some point? Like a
I
guard.
don't know if we'd want to continue being friends with them, given the circumstances.
I think at some point we probably have to go back there just because they do have the best bathhouse I've been in a long time. But we don't need to do it right now.
What time is it? Is it time
Oh,
to
sorry.
sleep first before we go, or?
It is getting towards nighttime, so.
Our mansion is just outside of here. So we can either
That's true.
head to the Blackwater Inn and stay there, or go to the mansion.
You want to swing
The
by the
Blackwater
Blue
Inn
Water?
does not have houses. Sorry,
Doesn't
it does
it?
not have beds. No.
It's
a
only the
tavern.
Blue Water.
Yes. The
You
Blue
think-
Water is an inn. The Blackwater is a tavern.
There is Vasili's house.
I was gonna say, yeah, Vasily, he very openly does quotes. Could probably host us, seeing as we're
How long-
technically working for him right now.
She
How
looks
long
up from behind the counter and she says, about Vasily, by the way. Have you guys seen him? It's been a little while.
Yeah, we saw him recently.
Yeah, I think the Lord has sent him out on a mission. The last time we were talking to him, he seemed to be doing something for the Lord of the Land.
We saw him with that girl from
she
the
says.
from the place. I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yes, his friend Arena is apparently, I don't know,
No,
entangled. Not really our business.
the one from that paper place. Remember the one Ernst is at the. He winks at Anya.
I think he's having a stroke.
Oh.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I get you, big guy.
There's a girl who works there, and we saw her with Vasily. He looks very proud of himself.
Oh dear Lord. Okay, well, shall we get going?
Want to swing by the Blue Water Inn just to see how the remodeling is going?
I don't think the Markovs are going to be particularly happy with us, given that we, you know. And no, she's going to look over to Anya and then kind of whisper to John, like, we gave away their secret to Strahd.
The wine.
What secret?
I think
Did
she's talking
she-
about the wine. We just went to the winery recently, and unfortunately, they had a bit of a problem with the local druids.
I
These are fascinating
tried to
stories.
keep that low and not. So does she just have like a high enough perception to probably hear me?
She got the fact that you said something about a secret or something, but she's looking at you very confused, like, what are you talking about?
I'm sorry. We're all over the place at the moment. We've done so much in the last few weeks.
Their winery is covered in twigs. I mean, it's like they're having a festival of their own. But
Yeah,
not
the
good.
winery is yeah, it's fine. Don't even worry your head about it. This has been excellent transaction, and she's going to start pushing John
Yeah.
out of the
Yeah.
potion shop.
He's actually gonna say, look back
Very
and say,
quickly.
remember, be happy, and then walk out.
And she gives you a long stare, like, oh, like there's a second part to this, and then like, that is the last time you see
that's
each
it.
other. That's great.
Yeah, John knows as much from this place that there's a reason why you have to stay happy. Otherwise, you get a donkey on your head.
Not bad advice, but still. Okay, so
You can go to the bookshop if you want. I'm gonna check out the fountain.
okay. All right, so I'll pop into the bookshop then, and for the sake of brevity, I'll say that when I pop in there, I am going to look for books on Leonidas, and anything about him. I'm also going to look for. Ooh, is there anything else? Anything about fanes and fairies, that kind of thing.
You guys already do have a book on the Fanes of Barovia, don't you?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
But in case there was anything extra in here, I would have looked out for it. But there's nothing. That's okay.
Give me an investigation check. See what you find.
Okay. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. You find a book called The Fanes of Barovia, which, by a staggering coincidence, is a book that you already have. Other than that, no. I mean, there's volumes here with, a lot of different titles, ranging from like cookbooks to a book on alchemy. There is some history books. There is a volume 1002 Things to Do in Barovia, which seems to be a
I'll take
V2.0
that.
to the one that you guys have.
I'll take that for sure. Like, amazing.
Never make that joke again because it will actually screw you over as a DM.
Well, you don't necessarily have to leaf through it, but I definitely want to
I know.
check around the place.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take that and skip up towards the man at the counter and be like, "This, please." And do you have anything in a special collection? Anything with a little bit of oomph to it?
Well, I have my prized Book of Kings that I'm very proud of. It's a first edition, and therefore it's not for sale. It's just on display.
Oh, could I look at it? In front of you, of
from-
course.
Yes. And like he has have you ever seen the Gutenberg Bible?
No.
Okay, so it is regarded as one of the prettiest books ever. It's one of those books that is like more jewel and like art than it is book. And every page just starts with a letter that is about one Carla big, and then the rest of the text is text. Like that kind of.
Oh yes, yeah.
It's beautiful. That's the kind of style we're looking at over here.
Oh, excellent.
It's very
okay.
old, and it is closed, and it has a lock on it.
Okay.
But it has in gold filigree a description on the front that says the Book of Kings of Barovia.
Would you? Am I allowed to read it, or do you have any like sort of knowledge of the contents?
It is a theatrice on the history of the kings and royalty of Barovia, and since the pages are very delicate, I dare not open it. So no, you cannot read it.
Okay. All right. By the way, what are your opening hours?
Well, I actually am about to close. It is getting close to, it's actually already beyond supper time. So you're probably going to be the last one for today. But I'll be open when the sun eventually comes up.
Very loosey-goosey as opposed to Neverwinter. All right. Yes, I will take the 102 Things to Do in Barovia, and I'll be on my way. And that's what I'll do.
He looks with a little disdain at it, even though you are a paying customer. This is like, it's like going to a bookshop and buying a newspaper.
I do it again.
It's that's 2 gold. Yes. It's
a little steep.
It's printed.
Right.
It's printed here in Valaki,
Oh, yes, the printing press. Is that still run by Ernst? I heard there was a little bit of changeover recently.
Oh no, I believe it's still in operation. Yes.
Oh, good to know. All right, well, on my way then. I'll say and I'll head out. Okay, he has a really nice book in there once I get out. He's a really nice book in there that I really, really want to read. I think it would be interesting, could have valuable information in it, but it'll be very difficult to get. So I think if we're ever like, oh, we're never going to come back to Vallaki again, let me know, because I think I'll take a crack at it.
Okay.
All right. So have we made a decision? Are we going to Facili, or are we just going to take the little trek over to our mansion?
I guess we can head back home.
Yes.
How far
would
is
be
it from
good.
here to Argynvostholt? Do we think?
Is that a question to me or to the team?
Just like by looking on the map, can we figure that out?
Might be a day's travel.
It's about a day's worth of travel. Yes, just below that. So, as in, like, not like by day, I don't mean a 24-hour day. It's if you leave in the morning, you would probably get there by evening or night. Let me quickly check if it's evening or night, because that might make a bit of a difference. Let me see. End of the afternoon. You'll definitely hit end of the afternoon. So daytime if you leave in the morning.
Okay.
So we should perhaps get as far as we can tonight.
Camp
I
up
don't
and
think
then
arriving
go.
at evening would be wise.
I mean,
Very well.
if you want, we can potentially just go ahead and make camp here, like outside the gates or something, and maybe leave before the crack of dawn. Just try to get some miles on the road.
So our mansion is it like right? It's right here, right? It's right outside the doors.
Yeah, it's from here. Yeah, you have to go past the Vistani camp, which is pretty much just outside. Like you can see it from getting just outside the city. So if you want to put a time on it, say an hour's worth of walk somewhere, it's not that far.
Well, between here and our mansion, I would say our mansion. As close to Argynvostholt as we can get.
All right. I guess
Very
let's
well.
head back there.
All right.
We'll go to the mansion.
Let me give that a quick roll. Do you want me to just take you directly to the manor, because like we can skip the map then? Like this is not too. Yep.
I'm gonna say we wave to Castamir and the Vistani as we by. Hey everybody, it's good to see you again.
Carla's going to look out for her friend.
Her fling.
From dinner.
Hang on. What friend again? Sorry, doing two things at the same time.
Her fling.
Silly me.
Sorry. My little fling who we had dinner with.
Yes.
Is he there?
I mean, it's dark while you're passing by, so unless you actively go looking for him, you probably won't see him.
Okay, then never mind. If she could catch his eye, she
John
probably would have.
waves and yells. Hey everybody! Have a good night.
They're technically their neighbors, so I suppose it's good to be polite. All right.
There you go. And you arrive in the mansion, or at the door of the mansion, just before midnight.
Excellent. All right. When we go in, has anything changed about the mansion, or is it all good?
It is exactly the way that you left it.
Excellent. Then I think we'll just park up, sleep for the night, and maybe then what Carla will do is she'll call down Orpheus. Orpheus, we're home.
Do we have a kitchen in this place? Sorry, go ahead. Ignore me.
Yeah, you actually do have a kitchen. It is next to the the dining room. And after a little while, Orpheus will indeed come down from the stairs. His token is coming, so give me a second. Boom, there he is.
Orpheus, has there been any updates, any attacks on the city?
Hello.
Not city, the mansion, sorry.
Attacks on the mansion. Is there something I should be worried about?
No, it's just in case there was, we'd like to be updated, but everything okay?
Yes, I've been reading, and well, I think I've been reading a new book. Or is it
What
the same
book?
one?
Well, we have the book of poetry, and I'll give that back to him. It was very helpful. Thank you very much.
Oh, yes. Can I start rereading this?
Of course you can. You can do whatever it is you like. But I would ask a request of you. We're going to go to sleep, but I think we'd like to wake before it gets to sunrise. Is there any chance you could wake us just before dawn, if you know how? That sort of system, maybe.
Yes. And you see him like trying to like remember something. It would be my honor. That's right.
Oh, thank you. That's very
Yeah.
polite. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Orpheus.
Mhm.
Do you know how to cook?
I think so. Yes.
Actually, I can probably do the cooking. Do you like bacon? Do you like, what kind of food do you like?
Usually things that don't live anymore. I've eaten a rat and I didn't like it.
Have you ever tried
Get
cooked
this
food?
man some bacon. Get this man some bacon. He needs
Yeah.
to try something that's not a rat. Oh my goodness.
Yep. So
Oh,
John's gonna make his way
Orpheus.
to the kitchen and make four servings of food.
Carla's going to scour out some alcohol for them and kind of park up, presumably in their, like, sleeping quarters. I don't think we're going to be hanging around for, like, chats. I'm not sure.
All right. Sleeping quarters are upstairs, of course.
So yeah, I imagine that all just happens.
Yep. I don't think there's anything special that you guys can do. There is ample like stuff to just make food and whatnot. You could do the roleplay small talk here, but unless you have any specific things that you want to do here, we could just like let this happen its course, right?
John goes up to Casariel after the food and just sort of like bumps into her with his shoulder, into her shoulder, and just says, "Hey, we've come pretty far in this place. I wasn't too keen on, staying here for as long as we have, but I really feel like it's been for something important. Glad to be here with you."
I hope so, John. And I'm glad you're here with me. And Casariel's gonna go to bed.
All right. There's nothing else, really.
Alrighty. Then the night turns very slowly into day, and as you guys are still sound asleep, Orpheus walks into your bedroom with a ladle and a pan, loudly banging that and screaming next to you, "You should wake up because it's morning!"
Yes, Orpheus.
That reminds me
Yes.
of growing up in the Silver Star. Thank you, Orpheus. That brings me home. You could make a great drill instructor, Orpheus.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
What's a drill instructor?
An instructor who drills, I think. I don't know. It's a
I
weird
know
name.
I asked for it, but I'm really not a morning person. Oh my, okay. If we head off very early, we might get there before the sun sets. Okay.
Casariel, like every morning, is up before sunrise to watch the sunrise. She's already outside.
And the sunrise, of course, as, well, surprise, surprise, being clouded by the clouds. There is still a bit of a sunrise, as in, like, night turns into day, so you can see that.
Okay. We'll boot off then, straight to Argynvostholt if there's no bits of roleplay we want to do.
All right. By the way, Carla, that was very impressive. You, I just want to say, very impressive. You climbing that wicker man. Have you ever thought of being thrown onto the top of an enemy?
I've never thought about it, but I do think one of my big issues is I can only go for like their shins or their guts. But I feel like when you get their face, it really does a lot of damage because it's where a lot of pain is. So that is a good idea. if we come across a big enemy, maybe we should put into strategy maybe a plan where you can throw me.
Just
You have that shield, right? Do you have a shield? No, you don't.
no,
Casariel has the shield. Never mind.
but he like holds his hand like almost like a shot put, and he says, "We've used to practice maneuvers in the back in training, and you ever call it just call it the upchuck maneuver? Just say out upchuck maneuver, John, and I'll know what you're talking about."
Excellent. Okay, let's practice once and then we'll head out on the road. Just to be sure. So Carla's going to look at like the practice dummy's hair, and presumably she's shorter than them. And she's
Yes.
gonna get ready. And she's gonna be like, okay, John,
Yep. So
upchuck maneuver. And she's going to attempt to acrobatically like jump from like John to the face of the dummy with her daggers.
I love it, and we're going to do that. This is going to be a two-part thing. So part one, John, roll me an athletics check.
fantastic. It rolled from a 20 to a 2.
Okay.
So that is going to be a 7.
Okay. Carla, give me an acrobatics check with disadvantage because of that.
Excellent. Okay. Wow. Okay. I feel like I just have bad luck when you're around because I went from again a 20 to a 6. Yep, that's a 6.
All right. So
That's it?
That's a 6. Yep.
So John gets ready, and as Carla steps like onto his metal plating that he's wearing right now, there's this little shift which hurts John, so he rebalances himself, which disbalances Carla. And John, noticing this, tries to grab Carla and still like sort of do the maneuver, thereby slamming Carla into the head of this dummy. It does some damage in some shape or form, but there's probably a name for this maneuver, but it's not in any regular training that you guys have ever had.
Calling it the face plant.
I think my nose is bleeding. John, is my nose bleeding?
I'm
Are you going to, like-
terribly sorry. You're fine. Oh,
Oh, dear.
good try, team. We'll get it next time.
Yes. Hopefully. Maybe a successful one before we take that into battle. Oh my god.
Agreed. I'm so sorry. Oh, they just back away.
Yeah, note, make Carla into a weapon.
Already am.
The Carla rocket.
All right. On the road.
It's your own weapon. Yes, let's.
And we were hoping to go like just early enough that it would be for sure like evening time by the time we get there, not night.
But easily. Like, you asked to be woken up at the crack of dawn, which has happened indeed. And if you just follow the road, you should hit Argynvostholt, not, say, like halfway through the afternoon. And
Okay.
it is indeed this path that you are crossing. You, hang on a second. You cross the river where the bridge is. You've been there a couple of times. And nothing came to jump at you, even though like you did remember that from last time. Crossing the river, there were two paths, one leading towards the north and one leading towards the south, and you indeed decided to take the south one. Feel free.
Okay.
And let me put you there. As you move down this not so trodden path, you see that there's a slight elevation starting to come in the rocks around you. And looking to your right, you notice that on a bit of a rocky outcropping, a little ways away from the main road, stands what seems to be a castle / mansion / burrow. You can't see the entirety of it because part of the building is hidden behind the cliff, but you do see a very clear path that leads towards the mansion. If you want to go there, this would be the place to choose to take this path.
Does this
Right.
Does this look like what we were described, Carla?
It does look kind of like our vision as well, doesn't it? If you
To
squint.
you, yes, you recognize the part that you can see from this building, you would recognize. It's a certain type of stone of which this building has been made, which you should recognize.
Yes, I believe this is it.
I recognize the stone. Onward.
Onward we go.
A windy path leads all the way up to the mansion. You notice that the windy path itself, dirt trodden, has a track in it, possibly from a cart or something like that. As you start to ascend this path, it starts to very subtly rain.
Wait for my new
Like this
armor.
weather. I will take the lead, keeping her eye out. I'm going to look into the direction of whatever bird is around and see if I
A
can find it.
raven seems to fly overhead.
Message. One of the
It's
Markovs.
way beyond your reach already.
Oh, okay.
Hey, are you a Mardukov?
As you yell that, your voice echoes between the rocks here. Mardukov, Mardukov.
I'm sorry if that was really loud, by the way. Is that like
No, it was okay.
okay? Cool.
It was loud enough to echo.
Mardukov. My. When with the echo, does it sound like John's voice or something echoing back?
No, it sounds like John's voice, just in echo, which, you know,
Okay.
it always sounds a little off, but nothing too strange about
I'm
it.
gonna look up the rock face. Do I see any like stones precariously perched or anything that might be dangerous? Because I'm not keen on getting crushed.
Give me a ooh, that's a difficult one. I'm balancing between either a perception check or a nature check, but let's go with perception. Thank you.
Oh, I got an 18 total.
The path over here seems to have been carved out, but also naturally formed, if you will. And it's hard to say how old a road is if it's just dirt. But this has been here for a little while, and looking at the rock face surrounding it, I mean, there's always a chance that a bit of rock comes loose, but it doesn't look like it's ready to fall down. It's not that terrible. So
Okay.
your initial estimate is that you're probably going to be fine. As you go around the bend, you come close to a bridge that is spanning a bit of an opening. And as you get close to the bridge, you hear the sound of hooves. And on the other side of the bridge, you notice that there is a cart, horse-drawn, that is very slowly coming to cross the bridge.
Sean steps off the path so that he's not in the path of the horse.
Riley will do the same, and she will. Does the wagon look familiar, kind of to a Vistani?
Absolutely. This is
Yes.
Vistani colors. Like, not that they have an actual color, but it's very colorful. If you
Yeah. She's going to reach into her bag for sort of the symbols of like friends of Vistani that they've gotten, just in case.
right, the cart passes you guys, and the Vistani that is sitting on top of it regards the three of you and just nods.
Not back.
Hi, are you? Oh, okay, bye.
Do you want to start active conversation with it, or are you going to let it pass?
Are you coming from Argynvostholt? I thought this place was a ruin.
Yes, there is. I was just visiting. Yes.
As far as I know, there's like 6 different Vistani camps. Are you from Eva or the one with Castamir next to it? Where are you from? If you don't mind me asking. Sorry, that's kind of forward. I'm John. Hi.
Give me a performance check on that.
Carla will see him stumbling and be like, "Be friendly."
No, that's actually
And-
great. I got a 19 on that.
You see the Vistani crack a smile at your fumbling of words, and he says, "The territory, the surroundings, gets you, don't they? I'm with the one near Vallaki."
Oh yeah, we've been there. Had the dance off and everything. Nice to meet you. So you're saying there's something up here? The settlement?
No, the castle, Argynvostholt.
I thought it was just a ruin. Are there people living there, or is there a reason? Are you scavenging or something? I'm sorry. I don't mean to be forward. I'm just curious.
We're headed
Yeah,
there,
it's
and
fine.
any information would be great.
What are you going to do there? It's a broken down mansion. Every once in a while we try to scavenge some useful stuff from there, but it's just
I
a
was
broken
going to
mansion.
hold up the copy of 102 Things to Do in Barovia. The book recommended it.
He looks at the book and he says, "Oh, you reading that trash? Yeah, it's in there. You know what's also in there?" And he reaches into the wagon and also shows his copy of this book. He says, "The last entry, which is the newest one, says that there is a beautiful mansion that has currently been taken over by 3 adventurers, and it's worth a visit." You don't happen to be those 3 visitors, are you?
When were these books made? That is impressive.
Are you the writer of this? If you said that was the most recent entry, or did you just meet the writer?
No, it actually says it on the back. Haven't you read it?
I'm gonna flip to the back of my one. Does it say it?
Yeah, not only does it say that, but it also says that it was printed like 2 days ago.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I mean, don't visit our mansion unless you want our butler to kill you. Just a pro tip. But yes, wonderful.
There were lots of dead
When I
things
kind
in
of
that
actually look
place.
at it, does it have like a name about who wrote it?
It does have the name Larnac Publications on there.
Bastard. Bastard. Yes, so, well, I mean, I recommended, and we're going to all 102 stops, so gotta get those off the list.
Do you know of any lawyers in Barovia? Because I'm pretty sure he's printing our stuff without our consent.
The Vistani looks very weird at you, as if like you would ever need a lawyer in this land. I don't sure I follow. And it's a long day ahead of me. So if there's anything else,
Safe travels, my friend.
yes, you too. Be careful out there, he says as he kicks the horse with the gear again.
As he says that, the lightning crackles all around. Yes, you too.
Yes, you too. He moves down the path and out of sight.
That was pleasant. Oh, we never got his name. Oh well.
We didn't, but, you know, it's fine.
I'm gonna look over the bridge. How far down is this?
Not too far down, about 40 feet.
Oh, looks a lot more daunting on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, once again, beautiful map by Diamandi,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah.
Incredible.
sets the stage, right?
Absolutely incredible.
But yeah, no, it's just 40 feet.
Very well. Off we go. As we get kind of closer to here, do we start to see like the ruins a little closer?
The ruins do start to give way a little bit as you are ascending this path, yes.
I'm going to turn to Casariel and I'm going to say, could I hold your crossbow for a moment, if you don't mind?
Certainly.
Okay, so she's going to put her hands on the crossbow, and just how she kind of like conducted a seance with a connection to Casariel's dad last time, she's going to try and amplify that again. She's going to hold it in her hands and like call out towards him. So what was your father's name?
If you're trying to connect to my father, she takes the amulet she'd given John that belonged to her father. This will do much better, I should think. His name is Farron O'Crace.
Okay. She'll take the amulet in her hands and she'll call out to Theron. She'll say, hello? Are you hanging around out here, or are you closer to the ruins? Give me a sign.
And as you are conducting your seance, if you will, like closing your eyes, reaching out, a blurred vision slowly starts to form in your mind. And you hear, very subtly, a sound trying to reach out to you. It almost sounds like a very soft thumping. And it gets a little louder. And a little louder. And the thumping changes from thumping to batting. Almost as if something very big is flying towards you. Carla, you get this overwhelming sense that you don't hear this just in your head.
I open my eyes and look up.
And as you look up, right in front of you, in the air, you notice a giant spirit dragon that is flying towards you. And it flies overhead, the three of you, and it roars, a bellowing roar as it does. And within the roar, the only word that you hear is, help them. Those are 2 words, by the way.
It's spoken in dragon, so that's like 1 word.
Fair enough. Yes. Thank you for the save.
Sorry. Oh my goodness. Wow.
John?
Did we see that?
You hear the ground. Yes, you and Casariel definitely saw this too. But John, around you, the ground starts rumbling. And as this happened, from the ground, a couple of wights claw their way out of the ground.
We've got company.
Roll for initiative.
Are we supposed to help them? They don't look like they want help.
Lord.
Oh boy.
Okay. I got a 15.
9.
18.
Carla, you said 9? Sorry?
No, I 15.
I have
John
a
is 9.
15. You were the 9. Yep.
I'll take 51.
No
And Casariel,
crazy.
you had what?
18.
18. Wonderful. Thank you. All right. Are you guys ready?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
That's right. We'll change to the turn follow. That should be it. There we go. All right. The wight closest to John immediately walks up to, well, lumbers over to John and tries to hit you with his rusty sword.
We're dead.
No, he does. Probably does not. Hang on. That is a 12?
That will not hit. It
Right.
skids off my new armor.
Oh, lucky you. That now not only has the word John, but also like an underline from the sword. He brings around the sword for another attack on you. For another 12. Wow. So that's a double no.
It crosses out the word John with that.
Awesome. Casariel.
Doc and Casariel will create 2 moonbolts in her hand and release 1 at the one farthest to the right and 1 at the one that's attacking John.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. And I got a natural 20 on 1 and
Which one?
the one that's farthest away from John. Farthest to the right.
So that's the one to the right? Yep.
And then 7, 13 on the other.
Sorry, what was the first one in the natural 20? The 13 was on the other. The 13 misses.
Or a 27 for the first with a natural 20, and then
Yeah, no, that totally hits.
Okay.
You try to miss me and you miss it too.
So it's 5 damage to the one furthest to the right.
It was a crit, right?
Okay.
You said it was a natural 20.
And Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's 10 damage.
I was going to say. All right. Done.
Wouldn't it be 15?
And that one misses.
Sorry.
What?
Because it's max damage plus the roll.
That's what it should be. What's your damage?
10.
Yeah.
1d10.
1d10, so it would be 2d10, so that's... And you rolled a 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do crunchy crits, which means your first dice always maximizes, and the second one just applies as what you rolled. So that's a 10 plus 5, which is 50.
Absolute wreckage.
Excellent.
So that
and
is-
then
There you go. Yeah,
I'm going to stay where I am.
beautiful. Carla.
Since I'm already sort of trying to call forth spirits, I'll call forth one of my bardic inspirations, one of my tales. So let's figure out what those are. So for this one, oh, okay. The sort of like shimmering form of this like hunched pageant queen comes up and pops out beside John and the creature that's attacking him, and it's going to attack. No, it's that creature's so the white is going to have to give me a wisdom saving throw, DC 14.
And you're doing it next to the one that is near John?
The one that's near John, yeah.
All right. That is a 6, so nope.
No, that fails. So it is going to take 12 psychic damage, and also it is going to be incapacitated until the end of its next turn. As this sort of like beauty queen figure sort of like brings her claws up around it and like it possesses him for a moment, giving him psychic damage.
Give me a little like on this like beauty queen thing. Like, is that just something from your past or something?
It's so a case, one of Carla's cases that she's sort of covered has been a beauty queen that used to kill all of her competitors in order to imbue herself with beautiful power, but in doing so it like messed up and she became sort of like necrotic and like mangled. So as she sort of enters her victim, it's the pain of like doing anything for beauty that sort of reaches into this creature and pulls all of that damage out and sort of incapacitates it for a moment.
That's creepy.
It hurts to look this good.
Yes. Beauty's pain, darling.
That's beautiful.
That's fantastic.
Okay. And that was for 12 damage, you said, right?
12 damage, yes, and incapacitated until the end of its next turn.
I love it.
Alrighty. Done and done. Anything else?
Oh, that's a bonus action. For my main action, forgot I have one of those. Okay, how far away is that one? We use the ruler. Okay, that's plenty. All right. So yeah, Carla is going to move closer to this one, take out her daggers, and give an attack at it.
Okay.
And is it an undead creature?
It totally is.
Okay, excellent. Alrighty, so that is going to be a 22 to hit.
That hits, and I assume you're using a magical dagger at this point.
I'm using Casimir's dagger and one of my own. So for that one, it
Give me
does
separate damages
1d4
on those.
radiant. Okay, yeah. So I have 2d6 for the regular damage. Oh no, that's critical. Never mind. Yeah. It's 2. Ooh, shit. Oh my god. 2 fucking ones. That's terrible. Okay. 2. So 2, and then 2, 3, 6. That's 8, and then we have an extra. So there's 8 slashing, and then 2
From
radiant
the magical
damage.
dagger, right?
It's both my daggers, but I suppose for the magical
I
one,
need to know
it's
what's... Yeah.
okay. So with the magical one, it's just 4 damage plus 2 radiant damage.
All right, so that's 6.
Okay. And then I have my extra dagger then did another 4 damage.
All right, and that is halved because that dagger can't really find its way into the body. However, the radiant damage did do a little more, so that negates that again. So that is a total then of 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay, 10 damage goes into
Wonderful.
this creature then.
And he does start bleeding.
Excellent. Okay, that's my turn.
Wonderful. Next to John, forming from the tree that you guys are standing close to, you notice that some shadows and mist is coalescing into a form which takes on the form of a very angry-looking spirit.
Oh.
The spirit floats towards Casariel. And as it stands in front of it, it raises a hand and touches her on the shoulder. For an 18.
That hits.
All right. You take 21 necrotic damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, so that's actually 11 necrotic for me.
Because you're SMR? Yep.
Saving throw 19.
As a matter of fact, okay, that saves. As a matter of fact, it's not 11, it's 10, because you can halve it always in your favor, so it's 10.
Yay!
Splitting hairs, but, you know, it saves one damage.
Extra point, yeah.
Okie doke.
Yep. So you save the Constitution saving throw. You are fine. That doesn't do anything just yet.
Alrighty.
John.
All right, so seeing the one in front of him sort of become stunned or incapacitated by the odd floating creature behind that doesn't look very aggressive, he's going to look over at Carla, see that she's dealing with her own thing, and he'll say, "All right, this thing, whatever this beautiful, wow, you're beautiful." Anyway, and he rushes over to Carla and tries to take 2 swipes at the guy in front of her.
You will take an attack of opportunity from that.
If it's incapacitated, it doesn't get reaction.
Until the end
Oh,
of
it's no. You're right. Wow. Yes.
So I was
Good
saying-
tactic. Yes.
I was thinking it looks
You're
stunned,
fine.
so I was good. He runs over and he just like over Carla's head clotheslines this thing with the maul. Let's see.
Oh, I love it.
And I got a 19 to hit.
That hits.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and use the. I'm gonna hit this thing hard. That is going to be a. Ooh. So first of all, let's get over here. Do some maths. Plus 5 plus 15, 9 plus 15, 24 plus. I'm doing a divine smite, and that is going to be if undead, it gets an extra D8, right?
On divine smite, yes.
4, 30. So that's that's going to be 24 bludgeoning damage from a magical weapon, and an additional 10 damage of radiant divine smiting.
You sever the head from this creature, and it just goes flying. So this would be the moment to yell for.
1 as he hits.
This creature is no more. As a matter of fact, let me just do it. I need to make a habit of just doing this so you guys still know what it is.
Oh, okay. And I imagine I'm too far away to get back to the incapacitated one, so I was there. Carla, that. Who was that? Never mind. There'll be time for that later. Exactly.
All right. The white that is furthest away from you tries to close in. As a matter of fact, it can make it. So it will do a double attack on you, John.
Bring it.
And it will do so with a natural 20.
That'll hit.
And a... that is a 16.
All right, so the first one hits. The second one no longer hits because of my armor. Thank you, Carla.
Easy welcome.
All right, Carla, that ghost that gets hit in the back.
All right, that is 17 points of slashing damage.
Ow.
And with that, we go to the top of the round. The white that is standing here is totally incapacitated, so it can't do anything. Casariel.
So the ghost that's in front of me, or the
Yes.
spirit that's in front of me, does it look recognizable, or is it just a...
No, it just looks like an evil spirit.
Okay.
It does take a semi-human form, if you will. So if that's what you're looking for, but it doesn't look like anyone that you know.
Okay. I am going to say to it, I'm going to look it in the eye, and my eyes are going to go just black and white, kind of like shimmer back and forth, and I'm going to say, flee, as I cast command on it.
Oh, I love it.
Nice.
What's the saving
That
throw?
is a wisdom saving throw, please. 15.
15. I got a 14 plus 2, so that's a 16. It makes it.
Okay. All right, then I will. Yeah, that's it for me. I'm gonna stay right here, I guess.
So as you say that, you do see that the mist itself that is coalescing into this human form in front of you tries to disperse and then just coalesce back into form, like almost as if it's like melting and refilling. All right, Carla.
Seeing that the hold sort of goes away from that creature, I'm going to use another one of my tails. Will kind of call the beauty queen back and go for a different one. For this one, I'm going to see that John sort of gets a hit, and on John's neck, a best friend's charm will form, sort of ghostly, over there, and you will gain. Okay, that's great. Okay. So that's going to be 11 temporary hit points, John.
Ooh.
Yes, so that's what you're going to get, and I'm also going to get that. Okay.
My mind just totally went like a little guy on your shoulder, like, no, it's got a point. Sorry, continue.
So yeah, little best friend charm forms around John's neck, and he will gain that extra hit points. And then I will attack. I will kind of move over and attack this creature with my main action. So with Casimir's and my own. So that's going to be a 19 to hit.
Hits.
Yeah, okay. So Casimir's dagger does 7 slashing and 3 radiant damage.
So that's 13 total. Yep.
And then the regular dagger does 7 damage.
Which is 4. Okay. Done and done. You damaged this creature.
You doke. And that's all I can do for the moment.
All right. The wraith in front of Casariel raises his hand once again and pushes his hand into her chest. Once again, trying to do a life drain. And it does so for a 14.
Doesn't hit.
So it hits your chest, but it goes through it. Your plate is just basically dispersing the shadow. All right. John, your turn.
All right. After knocking that one off, the head off, and then getting stabbed in the back, he turns around and he sees. Oh, Casariel's dealing with this thing. Is how far away? Oh, we're too far away. Okay. He's got to just go for the follow through. Basically, Carla ducked around him, stabbed this thing in the gut, and then he just like spins around and just tries to go for another head knockoff.
Love it. Let's go.
And that is going to be a natural 1. So he spins, misses, and keeps spinning. And tries to connect.
I like
with
that.
Tries to connect with a second shot.
All right.
Which,
while you are spinning, you do fall to the ground because like you totally go wide. Unless you were planning to move, you can get back up with your movement speed, of course.
oh, okay. Ow. All right. So I get back up and try to go for the. Actually, yeah. As I'm
the
standing
weight's all
up,
off with the new armor.
It just throws your balance off, man. That's
as I'm standing up, I'm going to come up from the back of it and try to hit it in the back. And this time I get a 16 to hit.
That does it.
Okay. All right. Don't fail me now. Oh, double 6s. Okay, so that's going to be 12 plus 15. That's 27 damage from my magical bludgeoning thing.
Okay. That is 2. Okay, it is very heavily bleeding.
All right, and yeah, that's all I got.
All right. The white tries to respond in kind by raising his sword and slashing twice at you. Once for a... That's gonna hit. That is a 19.
Okay. I'm good. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was thinking about shield, but no, I'm good.
And the second one for a 22.
Oh yeah, ow. Yep, that hits twice. Two hits.
That is a total of 14 slashing damage.
Remember you have those temps?
Yeah, the temps helped a lot.
Okay.
The second time the sword hits you, however, you feel that something else is happening just other than just hitting you. And I need a Constitution saving throw.
Alrighty. Oh, I got a 19 on the roll, so that's going to be a 21.
All right. So it feels different than the previous hit. It still hurts, but other than that, nothing happens just yet.
What was on that? A blade. Stay away
Top
from
it
me,
around.
fella.
The white that was being knocked out is now back and tries to take a swipe at the ghostly form in front of it. I imagine it's just a figment, right? Like it doesn't really have
Completely.
any shape. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
Right.
purple swirling, like, hunched beauty queen.
Right.
Sadly, did that go away when you gave me the best friend charm?
Yeah, so what happened was sort of her energy drains away and it kind of reappears as a best friend locket on John's chest. So.
Fair enough.
Which
In
got
that case, it
destroyed
is
by the
going to
sword.
attack you.
Yeah.
In that case, it will attack you twice. I will honor the first roll that I did, which is a 15.
Yeah, that hits. That just hits.
And the second one is an 8.
That doesn't hit.
Right. The first hit hits you for 7 slashing damage.
Ah, okay. My temporary hit points help. Fab.
Casariel.
Casariel kind of rolls out of the touch of the spirit, realizing she doesn't really have the best close range spells. She sort of looks beyond it at her friends and conjures 2 moonbolts, and she'll release one at each of the whites attacking her friends.
Awesome. Okay. Go ahead.
One is 18 and the other is 21.
Both hit.
Okay, so the one on the left will take 2 points of damage, and the one on the right will take 8 points of damage.
Awesome. The one on the right that is attacking John just slashed John like twice with his sword, and as he's bringing up the second sword to hit him, he just gets like side hit like in the head, and the head just topples off to the side as it just stands there for a second with the sword, and then just slumps to the ground. Beautiful.
And I'm gonna stay where I am.
Alrighty. Carla.
I am going to bring out my daggers and go for an attack on this guy. So that's going to be a 18 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. Casimir's dagger does 7 slashing and 3 radiant.
That is 16. Yep.
And the regular dagger does 7 slashing as well.
Just as a quick check, are you rolling once for both of the daggers?
I'm rolling a hit once for both of the daggers.
Yes, but like there are 2 weapons, so I do need 2 rolls for that.
Yeah, it was a separate one. I just got a 4 twice.
Yeah, that's the damage, but I also need the attack roll for both
okay.
of the weapons. Yes.
Alrighty. No bother. Well, the second one is a whatchamacallit. That's a 25.
Still hits. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's 7 slashing damage for the second one.
All right. It is bleeding.
Okay, and I'm going to turn to John and I'm going to say, help Casariel, I'll take care of him. And I will I'll do that. That's what I'll do.
All right.
Cool beans.
The Wraith once again forms a misty hand and tries to touch Casariel on her armor. And he does so for a 24.
Hits.
That is 21 necrotic damage, reduced to 10 because of your SMR. Legacy. And I need a Constitution saving throw.
6.
Okay. So that is not enough, and as it hits you, you notice that your life itself feels more feeble. Other than the fact that you take 10 points of damage, your maximum hit points also lowers by 10.
Yoki.
John.
Stoker, we need you. I hold up the eye of Daskalu, and the strings that sort of ethereal surround John lash out to a point next to Casariel, and up rises this little shadow pug, Stoker. I'm casting Summon Shadow Spawn. Yep.
There he is.
All right, and he's gonna go ahead and take a hit at our wonderfully evil ghost thing right in front. And all right, let's go ahead and that last hit. Oh, and he crits. Okay, he comes up and he just, like, bites this thing's misty ankles, and he crits it. So let's see, Chilling Rend. There we go. 1d12. Oh my god, I need. There we go, d12. 19, 25 damage. 25.
And that is
cold damage. Cold damage.
All right. So that is halved, but it still does purchase.
He's like gripping onto it.
Hang on. Stoker is technically. What is he? Is he ghost or is he magical?
I think it's just cold damage, but it's like it's magical cold, but like it's not a magical weapon. So if it's if it's resistant to cold, it doesn't matter if it's just half. Yeah.
So you had 25 total, right?
Yes, 25 total.
All right. So that reduces to 13.
Or 13. Okay. Cool.
Yep. Yep. It's always in your favor. If it's damage to you, it's always lower. If it's damage to the enemy, it's always higher. That's the little perk.
And he yaps happily at Casariel, seeing a friend.
There we go. So cute. Okay. Top of the round, the white that is attacking Carla continues to do so. Slashing at you for a natural 1, so he drops that sword. And second, wow. Okay, for a 3, so that misses. And he uses the rest of the movement. He uses the rest of his movements to just grab the sword up again.
Excellent.
Casariel.
As the life is drained from her, she sort of takes a breath. And her eyes go black, and she looks up at it and says, "Were they your friends? The ones that are dying behind you?" And she'll just grab it as much as she can grab it, or just put her hands next to it if she grabs nothing. And she's just going to cast 2 moonbolts, like right into wherever its head would be.
Okay, I really love that. So I'm going to give you an option here. You can just do it as is, where it's just flavor that you're doing this. But you can also actually try to physically connect with him. I will require a roll for that. And I just want to have a flat 20 for that. If you roll anything higher than a 10, you will crit on both of these. But if you fail, you miss one of your bolts.
Okay.
That's no brainer. You got to do it.
I rolled a 3.
Oh. So you miss one of your bolts, but the other one still hits.
Okay. Do I roll at disadvantage if it's a ranged attack?
Usually, yes, but because this was such a cool moment, I will let you roll that one normally.
Okay. Okay, that's good. That's 17 plus 7, so that's 1 million. And the damage is
give or take
4.
It hits.
Just 4.
Damage is 4. Alrighty. That is what kind of damage is that?
Radiant.
Okay, so that actually doubles up. Wonderful. So you still do a fair amount of damage as you see a bit of the smoke just being popped off.
Yeah, that's it. I'm staying, I guess.
Awesome. All right. Carla.
No. Bloody bastard. All right. She's going to call forth a different tale. She's going to sort of reach within herself and try and find one. So this one is the tale of the renowned duelist. So right beside Casariel, a floating severed hand holding a rapier will take a slash at the ghost, hurting her. So I just need to roll to hit. And it's a melee spell attack. Does that make any difference for like damage wise?
It is magical in nature, so that means it will be a magical attack. Yes.
Okay, so that is a 24 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, so it's going to take 2 rolls of my bardic inspiration dice. So that is going to be Why can I not think? And then I have to do this. Cool. So that is going to be 16 force damage into this creature. That's by Casariel.
Force damage in and of itself is already not subject to the resistance here. This guy basically just gets it's a bit of a fine mist at this point with the helmet that just drops down.
The creature by Casariel.
Oh, you attacked the the wraith.
I kind of looked at the white and I was like, oh, and then looked at Casariel sort of fending for herself, so I send the severed hand over there to deal with that at least a little bit.
Perfect. Then it still applies the damage as I said, and it applies a fair bit of damage there, of course. The ghostly form starts to show a couple of holes in it.
Okay,
if this were a human form, you might say that it was bleeding.
You hear like a ghostly like "on God" or something like that before the hand fades away. And then Carla is going to just take a slash at the one in front of her again. So that is going to be a 24 to hit with Casimir's dagger.
Hits. Yep.
Okay, I'll do that first then. That is 8 slashing and 2 radiant.
Times 2 is 4. You obliterate it with that. You just hit it in the jugular, with that dagger.
Dagger
you
goes
just
up.
do a little twist.
It drops down, and then I'm going to use my movement to get as close to this creature as I can.
All right. The wraith, obviously being hurt quite a bit by Stoker, turns to Stoker and reaches out and touches it with a life drain. And does so for an 18.
That's definitely gonna hit.
It tries to drain 21 points of necrotic damage from it.
Yep, that'll hurt. And he just. Resistance is it necrotic damage?
It's necrotic damage.
Oh, so he's resistant to that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So that's half damage for you.
20?
That's
or
10.
so 10. Yeah. Cool.
Yes. And I do need a Constitution saving throw from him.
From him. Okay. His Constitution. Oh, stop bringing pop-ups. Constitution is okay. +2. Nice. And that is going to be. You got a 5.
His hit point maximum lowers by 10. Oh, allow me. All right, John, your turn.
All right. Seeing this thing attack Stoker, seeing it having attacked his friend several times, he reaches out and just grabs onto the strings that he can see around him. They reach out and connect with it, and he's going to do 2 Eldritch Blasts and try to rip this thing apart by its own binding strings.
Love it.
That is going to be a. I'm going to get back to my own. It's going to be a 15 and a 22 to hit.
They both hit.
All right.
Yeah, contrary to what you might think of a ghostly figure, his AC isn't all that great.
And that is a 4 and a 7, so 11 total force damage.
11 total force damage.
Grab onto the strings and just essentially try to pull it apart. And as I do that, I use the momentum of the strings to rush forward the 30 feet. Or, yeah.
Great flavoring. And there's more holes starting to form in his body. Casariel, your turn.
Same thing. I'm going to conjure 2 moonbolts and try to release them in its brain. Hole.
I'm going to allow you the same thing because I think it's freaking cool.
That is really
so if you want to take a roll for that, feel free.
Just
I'm
grabbing it
not
and burning outside.
very confident in my dice right now.
I
At
believe in
all.
you.
You do it.
So roll a flat d20, right? And if I roll above a 10,
Flat. If you roll above a 10, you're going to do something awesome. And if not, then
11.
you basically... Well, there you go. Still both crit.
Let's go.
Ah!
So
Okay, so
it's
both
the
crit?
full,
Okay.
right? And then
Both
the
crit.
so that's 20 straight points of damage plus
Yep.
Plus 2,
9,
2d10.
29.
Ooh.
hell
Okay.
yeah.
29, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was 2d10 you rolled?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I did
okay,
20,
sorry.
and then I got a 5 and a 4.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. Just in case. That was awesome, though. That was so cool.
Okay. What happens?
Ah.
Go.
Yeah, she's pretty fucked up. She's bloody. She's like sort of like got some like black stuff dripping from her eyes, which isn't really that unusual for Casariel, but she didn't cause it, so it's not good. So she sort of like releases 2 moonbolts in it and like just sort of brings it to the ground. And did you say it has like a helmet on or something like that?
A bit of a crown, if you will. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she
Uh-oh.
grabs that crown and just starts bludgeoning it, just relentlessly, like screaming, like all the rage that's built up inside of her, like all of the sadness and like angst and what's going on. Where's my father? Where's my mother? Fuck this place. She's just, and if it doesn't even hit him, she's still just like smacking the ground until there's like a hole in the ground forming underneath it, just continually smacking it.
Absolutely beautiful. And as you hit it, like the shadowy form just starts to rupture as if it's like an old sheet of cloth that is being torn apart by 4 or 5 different people at the same time. And you hear just a bellowing roar as this creature just gets torn apart and just evaporates to the mist.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and even as it evaporates, she's still just like, she's like, even if the crown is gone, she's still punching the ground. She's just punching it and screaming.
John's gonna come up and put his hand on her shoulder. And... Casariel. You got it.
I know.
Are you all right?
And I
You
like grab up on his wrists, you know, and like pull herself up. Like wipe her dress off. Carla, what was that dragon? Did you see a dragon?
I did. And did you hear it? It said help them.
John looks around at the corpses. He's like, "Do you think he was talking about?" Probably not.
I hope not. 'Cause don't think that was helping.
They were very
Did you
rude.
hear anything from my father? Did he?
No, when I reached out, that's what appeared. Whether that was from him or inherent to the area, who knows? My goodness. Okay, I'm going to try one more time just as we get closer, in case I can connect. And Carla's going to bring up the locket again, and this time she's going to like close her eyes and sort of...
Wait, first,
She's heard
are you
John...
hurt, Carla?
No, not even a little bit. I'm gonna...
Okay.
Fine. She's going to bring up the locket again, and kind of the prayers that she's heard John and Casariel say as they've been learning about the Morning Star. She's going to lead with Morning Star. Is Morning Lord? There we go. Yeah, she's going to lead with that, and then try to like call out to him again as she walks up the path, trying to find Theron. She'll be like, "Are you there? Can you reach us?
John's gonna
Or
put his arm
point
around
us in a
Carla.
direction."
And as you walk down the path a bit, some words float to your mind. Darkness, shadow, righteous, bereft.
Does the voice, is it a voice or is it just words that come towards me?
I mean, they're spoken in a voice, but
I'm afraid he's not reaching out. I'm so sorry. We'll try again when we're closer. And I'll hand back the locket just to be safe to her.
I will take it and look up at the castle, and you can see just like this burst of radiant energy just flow through her, like where it could come from, as she casts death ward on herself, and just heads for that castle.
And walking beside you, John holds up the phase staff and let's see if this thing works. And he puts his hand on your shoulder. Carla, are you sure you're not hurt?
I'm fine.
All right. Any go ahead and.
John,
Yes.
are you hurt?
Yes.
Oh,
Quite a bit.
all right.
I cast Cure Wounds on both of them.
okay. Go ahead. It's 1d8 plus 4 that applies to everyone that you choose.
And that will be one roll for both?
One roll for everyone, yes. And it's copied, it's not split.
Got you. Cool. That will be 4 plus 4, 8 healing.
Cool. So you, Casariel, and I guess Stoker also.
Oh
get
yeah, I totally. Well, actually, no. His maximum got reduced, right?
By 10, yes.
Yeah. So and that's all the damage he took. So.
Oh right, yeah. So then you can't heal him. Yeah, fair enough.
And as I take the amulet back, Casariel will just hold it to her heart and cast healing hands on herself and heal for 7 more.
Okay.
Cool.
You ascend the path, the last winding bits of this road. And as you reach the top of this winding path in front of you, you see a flat surface upon which a majestic building once stood. In front of you, a large mansion castle is standing there in the mist. One tower to the side, although broken, still stands, while the other one looks completely destroyed. Maybe due to neglect, maybe. The rest of the mansion looks lifeless and left behind through the ages. In front of the castle, you see a gigantic stone statue of a dragon. Behind it, 2 large entry doors with what seems to be 2 shields and writing that you can't read from where you are standing right now. Do you approach the castle?
Yes.
Then we will do so after our break. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your break as much as we did. Hope you got a drink. Hope you're ready for some more D&D adventures because, oh my, do we have something in store for you. Before the break, we decided to go back to Vallaki to get some essentials, some armor for John. John now has plate armor. Oh my, look at him.
Already saved me twice.
Yeah, well, it did actually. Yes. And then you decided to take a rest in your own mansion and then move to Argynvostholt, the mansion/castle that is a little ways away from Vallaki. You ascended the path towards this mansion, being besieged by beset on. That's not besieged, right? Beset on by some wights and a wraith. and you defeated them aptly and moved along the path, seeing a large spirit dragon flying over and saying, "Save them," to you. And as you came to the top of this little plateau, you stand in awe of what you see right now. Castle Argynvost. With the stone dragon in front of it, one tower is still standing, another crumbled down, and two front doors that are almost invitingly standing there, waiting for you to enter. Let me bring up the actual map of Argynvost.
Exciting.
And as you look in front of you, through the mist, you see exactly what I just described to you. The stone dragon statue, but a couple of feet away from you.
Shout out to DM Andy. This is already incredible.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, let's take a second for that. Like, this is one of the newest maps that DM Andy has released. He's currently working on Castle Ravenloft, which I've seen a couple of the images already, and oh my god, are we in for a treat. But this was one of his relatively recent maps, and oh, it's such a treat to look at this map while prepping. So, DM Andy, thank you.
Love you.
Contrary to all the praise, John looks up at the statue and goes, "It's way smaller than it actually is."
The dragon, you mean?
Yeah, this statue is not nearly as big as what we just saw.
It's more solid, at least, and also stationary, which is very good. Should we do a lap of the perimeter, sort of gather our breath, and see how best to enter? Which is Carla talk first. Should we walk around and count that as like a short rest to see where we should enter from?
We take a meandering stroll around.
Ariel's gonna move forward, and just kind of like entranced by the dragon, and just make a lap around it, seeing if she can see anything that would be anything that reminds her of, I don't know, anything that would signal her to anything important.
Ooh, give me a I so wanna. I don't want to give anything away, but I really want to roll for that. Give me a history check.
Guidance. Carla will kind of see you sort of like poking around and like pop her head up and be like, "What are you doing?" And now she kind of puts her chin up on your shoulder, or imagine she like, not shoulder, but like near you. She'll cast it there.
A 6.
You climb up into Casariel and put your head on her shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh,
My head, she's like bending down looking at something, and Carla's like, "Hello." How are you?
Who's met me? Just looking at this dragon, I don't know. I don't know why my father would be here. I'm just looking for something. Not that I knew him, and I didn't know him, but my mother wrote me a bit about him. Yeah.
Yes,
I don't see anything.
Interesting. Well, when I did try to reach out to him, this is where he was, so, or at least something important to him is here. So hopefully we'll be able to find those answers for you. Is there any engravings or anything on the statue? Or is it just
The
as it
statue?
is?
Well, at a first glance, the statue itself looks relatively unremarkable. There is some moss growing on it, but like looking at the castle or the mansion, if you will, it looks like partially crumbled and broken down. And there used to be like a large vine sort of like growing on it, but that's since like withered away. But the twigs are still there. Like, you know how that looks. The statue itself looks relatively unblemished, other than the moss growing on top of it. There's no markings on it, but it's just very well made. It's made of stone, but it's very well made.
This dragon looks very spiky. And as I say that, Stoker trots forward and pees on the base of the statue.
Oh, yep. Thank you. Let me get Stoker for you.
Oh,
Forgot about him.
yeah. Is that... I didn't even think
Goodness.
this thing could pee.
You know, I'm glad we didn't take it with us now, like the alive version of him, because imagine if it did that everywhere.
Stoker, that's not your statue.
It is now.
He trots
Yes,
happily behind Carla.
Should we take a lap around just to ensure that we're getting all angles of this and then head inside?
Casariel, want to take a lap around? Might make for good, that stuff you always talk about, that tactical stuff.
Yes, it's a good idea.
So can we do that? Can we take like a walk around the perimeter and count that as like a short rest, or is that too active?
I actually like that idea because, for one, it combines the thing that Casariel and John would have from their training, plus it is a good way to spend a short rest rather than just sitting here and just eating a sandwich. You might as well walk around. So I like that. So yes, you totally can.
Yay.
And I will divulge
Very
some
much.
information on you as you apply your short rest.
Amazing.
Taking a walk around the perimeter, the map as it shows right now is basically made a little bit more clear to you. You notice that the northern or left towers are still pretty much intact, with the southern ones being broken down and crumbled. It is a complete wasteland down there, and it is hard to look. There are still bits and pieces of wall standing up, so you can't just look in there, but it is a mess. The towers themselves long gone. I imagine you took a walk towards the north and then from the north to the northeast to just scout that side as well. What you will notice is that on the north side of the mansion, there is seemingly a side entrance with an iron gate. The gate itself does seem to have a large padlock on it. Beyond that, there is another tower on the north side, and beyond that, you notice that there is a walled-off cemetery. The cemetery itself features a small building in the corner of it, which seems to be some sort of a mausoleum. Around, going up and around from the cemetery, you notice that there is what seems to be some sort of a chapel attached to it, because it has some glass-stained windows, which is partially broken. From there, you move more south towards another broken tower and back up again towards the place where your tokens are right now.
Well, there's sort of 3 entrances I can see personally. One of them is, of course, the front door. I could possibly be trapped since it is just there. There's the padlocked door, which would probably be less likely to be trapped because it will take some effort to get into. Or we could hop over the wall and get into the graveyard and go through that way.
So as we were passing the graveyard, what side was the graveyard on again?
The graveyard is all the way at the back of the castle, and it has a small mausoleum attached to it. It is walled off by an iron gate, you know, the ones with the fleur-de-lis kind of like spikes on top of it. So it does not necessarily have an entry.
Okay.
Did you say
What?
he was buried? You said something about him being buried here? Are you sure?
Someone told us that.
Wait. So, sorry, out of here. Did you say that when you reached out to him earlier? You saw that?
No, it's not that he's buried here. It's that either he is here.
He rests here.
His body, he might have fallen here, or something very important to him is here, and his spirit might be attached to it, or some essence of himself would be. It would have been simpler if he would have formed in front of me, but he didn't. All I got was a vision.
Well,
No, the priest that gave this to me told me my father that I should look for him here, I believe.
So he might be buried here.
he might also be through the front door. We should probably go knock.
It's more likely to be trapped if this place is the business of that.
Exactly strike me as a welcoming home, more like a haunted house.
Yes.
I imagine
Wise.
our Vistani friend probably would have let us know if they had trapped the door or if it already was. Besides, Carla, as I always say, the direct path is often the most direct.
There is no lack of logic there, which is shocking to say. Okay, we'll go, but please be very, very cautious and be careful where you step.
All right. And as you say that, John starts walking towards the front steps.
All right. The front doors themselves seem to have writing on it, and there seems to be 2 shields on them as well.
Stoker, go check it out, boy. And he walks up to the door.
Stoker stands in front of the door.
Carla will read what the writing is trying to say.
The door itself has an inscription in the wood, which has been weathered but still readable. It says Argynvostholt. And the shields on the door seem to be that of a crest of seemingly something dragony. It's weathered by the ages, but the shields are still there. They look pretty.
How would you
Are
put
they-
a shield on a
they're-
door?
Actual shields, like, just like, do they look like they could be removed?
The second part, do they look like they can be removed? I mean, obviously anything can be removed, but like, maybe? They do look like actual shields, but they look more decorative than usable. But they're made of metal.
That's fair.
Anything can be removed,
Carla?
Carla.
Good to know. Carla's going to bring the mage hand up to push and see if one of the doors will open.
And it does. The doors slowly open as your mage hand pushes it open. And as it does, you hear a very subtle grumbling sound coming from the statue behind you. The statue itself basks a blue wave of magical energy towards you, as if the dragon statue itself tries to protect the castle. Residual magic as it may be, however, it does not damage you, but just serves still as a magical scare tactic to those who dare enter the castle. And it dissipates after a couple of seconds.
That's something to
think,
keep out for.
Trying to enter with the element of surprise is forfeit now.
That's true.
As you say the element of surprise is forfeit, John stops like a split second away from knocking on the door. Right.
I'll try to use thaumaturgy to open the door.
All right.
Slam.
Both of the doors do open and reveal a hallway. As the castle partially lies broken, you notice that the mist has even crept into this building. But that being said, the foyer itself does look grand and beautiful. Weathered, but beautiful. At the end of the large foyer stands a grand staircase leading up to balconies to the north and the south overlooking this foyer. And at the top of the grand staircase hangs a worn tapestry of a dragon with its wings spread flying above, as if protecting a whole lot of knights. Each knight carrying a shield with a dragon insignia, similar to the one that you just saw on the door. Sets of double doors line the walls to the north and the south, and statues of knights are standing at attention along the walls. The tapestry looks like this.
Oh, that's pretty.
Any of the insignia here, is it any of it silver and gold, or is it all blue and red?
It is all blue and red, but there is an embroidery through it, made with silver and gold thread.
Have any of you ever seen one of those pictures that look one way and look another? It's like one of them says it's a duck and the other one says it's a mouse or something like that. I swear I see faces in this.
Hmm.
Oh, never mind.
Were you sent to a lot of psychologists as a child, John? Never mind. Carla is going
Dr.
to.
Rorschach really had a hand in
Did
my
a number
childhood.
on you.
Of Neverwinter. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Dr. Rorschach. He's a little
Mind
gnome.
why you step. This place certainly trapped.
Is this
Yes.
relatively dim light inside the building?
Yes. Absolutely.
So as Stoker walks in, can he sort of like meld into the shadows using, because he can take a bonus action hide essentially?
Absolutely. Yes. It is, there is some light coming in through the various windows and whatnot, but this looks like one of those places that would require quite a few candles to keep like lit well. And well, those candles are either not here or they're not lit.
Anyone have any candles? Carla? Casariel? Or wait, he holds out his weapon. Casariel?
No, I'll tap it. Actually, no. That, good idea, John, but why don't you just take, dark vision? And I'll give it to both of them.
Thank you.
All right.
Alrighty. Being able to see now, Carla is going to look at like the floor and look out for other statues in case anything like the dragon would happen again, but with something more threatening this time as she sort of slowly picks her way forward.
Okay. Floor itself has a beautiful like marking on it. It's not really any symbolism to it. It's just pretty.
You're kind of roboting a little bit. Is that anyone else
Yeah.
hearing that?
Yep.
Yeah, you cut out a lot there.
Oh, Emma. Oh, I see.
Technical difficulties. It's fine, guys. We've had them all day.
I reach down and pet Stoker as we look around this hall.
Mind any funny-looking steps? Any carpets? Open any doors with your hands?
Yeah. Just quickly switch the server on our voice channel. This should fix it.
Love it. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
That's
See.
fine now.
Look at us being smart.
Look at you being smart, Mr. DM. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's what you do. So, as I said, looking at the ground, there is some like pattern-ish like thing going on there, but there's no apparent symbolism to it. It's just pretty and weathered.
No immediate traps.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, natural 20 for a 22.
Dang.
The tiles.
wait.
The tiles. Yeah, perception.
Yeah.
But it was a natural 20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The tiles on the ground seem like, where they should be, and the ones that are broken don't seem like, they were broken on purpose to hide a trap underneath. You seem to be fine.
Okay. Alright. A
Stoker's
little bit more confident. Pick forward.
Stoker's going to move forward, and it almost looks like something is crawling under the carpet. Like there's just a bulge moving forward, but it's Stoker melded into the shadows.
There is no carpet here, though. This is all like tiles.
Okay, so he looks like a bulge in a carpet on top of the tiles.
Hilarious.
That's still funny.
I'm sorry.
From outside, did it look like it was 2 stories? Just 2?
Oh no! From the outside, it looks like it was 3 stories. And one thing I forgot to mention is from where you were standing, you did notice that on the backside of the castle, a spire was sticking out. Which, if you would add those floors as well, would at least bring you to about 6 floors total.
Oh my. We're going to be
Good
here
call.
for
I
a
forgot to add that in. So the castle itself is 4 floors, including the one that you are right now, and then there's a couple of floors for the tower.
Right, well, up or down? Oh.
Sorry, can we do a brief mic check? Because for Casariel, can you just say like a sentence? On microphone?
Yes. A sentence?
Yeah. Okay, that actually sounds fine. It was a little bit robotic there for a second, but cool. Just making sure. Cool.
Yep.
Oh,
Every once in a while, this does happen. Unfortunate.
should we prioritize finding perhaps maybe your father? We could go towards the cemetery first.
What was out
So
back?
would Yes, we need to find a way out back. And looking here, there's 2 doors, right? On either
Looking
side.
around the room, there
Us.
are 2 sets of doors to the north, 2 sets of doors to the south, and 2 sets of doors to the east.
Well, cemetery was at sort of the north, so... Oh, sorry, I moved Stalker by accident.
Oh, it's fine. He was going that way
Yeah,
anyway.
so I suppose we'll start there. Carla will pick her way towards these doors, bring up Mage Hand, and have it push them open.
So the left door will open. The right door seems to be locked for some reason, but the left door definitely does open.
Head in.
Is the door John is next to, is it already open or did I accidentally open it?
That is already open. Like it's creaked, if you will.
He's going to just push it with his weapon just to peek through, like, what's in there?
You see a couple of like old broken down wine barrels there.
Looks like a storeroom in here.
Champagne to stomp.
I'll give you well, you see wine barrels, so
Well, on our way back, let's check out. It looks like there's a storeroom in here. Might be some champagne.
Would be good. Alright, Carla will peek in here.
all right, give me 1 second. Looking through that door, you notice that this seems to be a dining hall. In the middle of the dining hall stands a 20-foot-long table with chairs around that. Several of the chairs have been overturned or smashed to pieces. Standing in windowed alcoves on the side are 2 life-size statues depicting knights with dragon-winged helms and shields. The statues' eyes pulse with a red glow. You notice that a bit of rainwater is trickling through the cracks in the ceiling, flowing down to the west wall, and adding to a large puddle that is forming there on the floor. A set of double doors stand to the north, east, and south, and to the west are 2 sets of double doors at the far ends of the room.
Give me 1 second to figure something out. Okay. Okay. Carla is going to say, kind of stop them all at the door, seeing sort of the glowing-eyed statues. She's going to reach into like her bag for like her old cloak, and take like a scrap of fabric out of it, sort of like the of like a blindfold, and she'll take the mage hand and have that sort of drape that scrap over the statue's like face so that the eyes are covered on the side.
Okay. That will negate the glowing eyes.
Okay. All right. On both of them.
Well,
Or
you
does
did
the one?
Did you did it on one or on both?
I did it on one because the mage hand isn't going to reach that far.
Fair enough. Then that one is covered.
Okay. All right. So if it's anything like the statue, we won't be able to see us now. I just need to get another one over there. My unseen servant is 60 feet of movement, so...
Yep.
Let me see, that would reach it, and it would be able to climb up on there as well, so I'm going to call forth Boo. I'm going to be like, Boo, darling. And you won't be able to see it. In her head she can. Not really, but like, pretend. And she'll hand it a bit of scrap fabric to scutter over and do to this statue.
That's adorable.
There we go. Right. I got the little new icon.
Does it make any noise like boo, boo, or something like that?
It tries to say boo really scarily. It's like boo, but it just doesn't work.
It's not scary at all. I love it.
That's adorable.
Good job, Boo. Okay. Now she's going to tentatively step inside.
Yeah. Oop. By closing the door.
Yes.
All right.
She's very smart. Okay. As she sort of looks at the dining room table, is there anything on it of interest, of note?
There is some like wood carving on it. Like there's an ancient like carving technique that you carve a bit out and then you like use a bit of fire to darken the wood briefly. So that has been used here. And you see on both sides of the table that there is a dragon etched into this. It is relatively rough compared to the tapestry, but it definitely depicts the same type of dragon.
Hey.
They really have a theme here, don't they?
Yes. I love the seat. It's very daring. But from that, she's going to start making her way towards the double door, but being very, very careful of where she steps and where sort of like whether or not those statues are moving, basically.
Yeah. Stugger's just sort of sitting in front of the statue with his head cocked left and then cocked right. It's like,
Huh?
Ariel is going to kind of like run her hand along the table, noticing that there's some splintered pieces of wood here, and she's going to gather as many of those as I can find that look like they could be stakes.
There would be enough like broken wood that you could fashion into a stake. So do you want to take some with you?
Yes, please.
All right. Roll me a d4.
2.
All right. You take 2 sticks with you.
Alrighty. I'll add those to the rest.
See.
This place sounds really dreary. Is it still raining outside?
It is. If any rain, it's like a very subtle drizzle. That is like the mist is more prevalent than the rain is. Is my way of saying that I can't do 2 effects at the same time on this.
Oh
map.
yeah, no. It was just more of a atmospheric question.
Yeah, no, it is subtly raining, but like almost like gone.
John's
Carla
gonna
is
look at
going to
Carla.
call for the hand and push open those doors if she can.
All right. Both of the doors do indeed open. Beyond the doors, you notice a chapel. And I will show that to you in just a second.
You think the glowing... Who do you make the glowing eyes?
I think, much like the statue, it was able to see us outside. It cast that light. I think these might have been the same, and if it can't detect us, then...
Carla, he points
Yeah?
through the door.
Looking through the doors, you look into a chapel. Cracked wooden pillars support a wooden U-shaped balcony here that overhangs this stone-walled chapel. Narrow archways lead to spiral staircases on the north and south side that curl up to the balcony. And the door set into the north wall has a wooden beam barring it. At the east end of the chapel rests a stone altar flanked by iron candelabras. The altar is carved with a rising sun bas-relief, something that you might recognize. Tall, arcing windows set with panels of stained glass, though broken, decorate the walls behind the altar. One of the windows has been completely shattered, covering the chapel floor with shards of colored glass and allowing thick fog to enter and fill the room. You notice that a knight is kneeling at the altar. And flanking him, you see 2 knights that look more dead than alive.
Carla is going to reach for the locket that she took and kind of brandish it forward at them and kind of look at her friends to kind of say, like, be on guard, and go, excuse me?
You say that?
Yes, but I'll hold up the locket to try and be like,
Right.
please look. Please look at this.
The knight that is kneeling near the altar slowly stands up and turns around. His face also a mask of undeath. This very much used to be a knight. He looks at you, Carla, and speaks.
You have crossed the threshold of the chapel of the morning, uninvited. Speak now, or prepare to die.
We are here looking for a knight, a paladin of the Morning Lord, and Theren. I don't know his second name. I'm sorry.
Grace.
But she'll... Yeah.
Where is the threshold? We're still in the.
Carl grab John's arm.
Not the moment.
We're looking for him. We've heard he rests here. We do not mean any disrespect to the Morning Lord.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage as you mentioned a name.
Okay. What is my persuasion? That is going to be a 23.
Okay.
I got 19.
The knight takes 2 steps forward towards you and raises one hand at you. And as he does that, he looks you dead in the eyes and says,
Welcome to the chapel of morning. We have not had visitors of the living for some time.
It's a very well
Thank you.
maintained chapel.
In comparison to some that we've seen, yes.
Yes.
Do you know him? Do you know Theren? Or where we could perhaps find him?
closes his eyes for a moment and says, he is one of ours. One of the guardians. One. He remains in the graveyard.
May we try to contact him or reach out to him? And she's going to look at Casariel to kind of get permission to, in a way, to
My name
mention.
is Kim. I would ask that I could pay my respects at his resting place.
He points to the door that is currently barred with a wooden beam. Speaks none.
Thank you. Okay, and Carla's going to take a very cautious step forward. See if there's any reaction.
They all remain in their place, but they are looking at you.
And she'll go straight for the door and kind of very much keep an eye on them.
Their eyes are following you, but they are standing where they are.
And she'll wait by the door for Casariel and John to join her. They can go first and then she'll go last.
John's going to very cautiously step forward. Keeping his eye on Casariel. How's Casariel handling this?
She steps before the priest, and her gaze lifts to the altar. She'll sort of give deference and say, "From life, death." And then she'll just walk over towards Carla and the door.
So you look at him and you say, from light, death.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the things that she remembered from her readings about the Morning Lord.
All right. As you say that, he looks at you, and as hard as it is to read emotion in someone that is basically very close to a corpse, for a brief second, you see recognition in his eyes at those words. And he stares at you for a second and says, "Praised be the morning, Lord."
My God.
So I will just nod and continue towards the door.
Right?
So Carla will use the mage hand to try and lift the wooden beam and open the door, and she will stand guard at the door while the two of them walk through it.
The beam will be too heavy for the mage hand, but with normal hands you should be able to easily lift it.
John steps
Okay.
forward, and he'll lift it, open the door, and let Casariel move forward.
All right.
And she will.
Stepping outside the door, you stand at a small stone staircase that leads into the cemetery, which is tucked behind the mansion and fog shrouded, and enclosed by a 7-foot-tall fence of wrought iron with spikes on top of it. In the northeast corner stands what seems to be a mausoleum. Gravestones adorn both sides of the cemetery. Near the mausoleum entrance, you notice a shadowy figure.
Does it look humanoid?
It's hard to tell. It stands in the shadow of the mausoleum.
John's gonna awkwardly close the door behind him, sort of like those things are creepy.
Oh, do you see that?
No, he didn't say that. No. He just he look on his face is like, "Ugh." He closed the door.
I did see that. Say kind of.
Oh, sorry.
It's and look over towards the shadowy figure, and as I kind of see it, I'm going to reach out with message and see if I can make contact.
What do you wish to say?
Hello. We're not here to hurt you. Praise be the morning lord or something.
You say it like that?
Religious, yeah. She doesn't really believe in religion.
The shadowy figure that is standing close to this door, now that you're getting a little closer, seems to indeed be humanoid, standing somewhat at attention, as if it was standing here for hundreds of years. A spear at the ready, and as you try to make contact with it, it straightens up and stands more defiantly. And you have the feeling it is looking in your direction. And then it shifts its gaze towards Casariel. And the only thing it does is that it raises his free hand and makes a beckoning movement.
Ariel is entranced, and without even looking back at the other two, she's just gonna start walking forward.
As you get closer, you notice that this shadowy figure is very much the same as those creatures that you just saw inside. A knight, perhaps, but long gone. Or is he? Or he is still standing, and there is still movement. As you get closer, you can more clearly see his face. And Casariel, for the very first time in this land, you stand face to face with someone that, other than your mother, looks very much like you. The creature in front of you looks back at you, and has the same shock of recognition as he looks you in the eyes, but doesn't say a word.
Your face. I am the daughter of Celisaria.
Celisaria. That is a name that I have heard. Time and time ago. Are you her spirit?
I am her daughter.
If you are her daughter, then you are my daughter.
Yes. Yes, I think I am.
My name is Farron Elcress, Paladin in service of Argynvost.
Yes, I know who you are. I have her journal, and she wrote very fondly of you. And
You see his eyes very slowly move over your armor, and his eyes stop at the medallion that you're wearing. And he looks at you and he says, "Has your mother taught you the faith?"
the faith of the morning Lord.
This land that we inhabit is cursed, and every day one needs to remind himself if what he sees is real or a figment of a fading imagination. If this is yet another ploy by him who has very poisoned this land, or if this is what I have longed to see for so long. Tell me, are you real?
Real. This is the gift you gave my mother the night you were married. Here, stolen away. I'll take it off, and I'll show it to him.
Do you give it to him or do you just show it to him?
No, I just show it to him.
Okay. You notice that he is intently staring at it. And then he looks back at you. And he takes a couple of seconds. And then you notice that he starts reciting a certain prayer that you might or might not recognize.
It is dusk, and as the darkness moves in, the evening ritual must be said to ward off evil. What is
It cut short.
It did not. As it said what it said, it looks expectantly at Casariel.
Is she supposed to know this? Because I don't know it.
I don't know. Do you?
That's beautiful. It's prayer of the morning mode. No. I know that you and she talked about combining their faiths. You even made a new symbol, did you not? Rather than the full moon surrounded by 2 crescent moons. The sun surrounded by 2 crescent moons. Beautiful idea. She loved you very much.
He closes his eyes at the word love that you speak of. And after a couple of seconds, opens them again and looks at you and says, I can only vaguely remember that feeling, but I know it is true. Your mother and I followed different but equal paths. It is understandable that your mother taught you what she knew, as I will teach you what I know. Heed this prayer, for this is equally true as is any prayer that your mother has taught you. And very slowly he starts reciting the 8 tenets of faith.
Watch each sunrise, for each day is a gift. Always aid, strive always to aid, to foster new hope, new ideas, and new prosperity for all kind and its allies. Nurture life. It is a sacred duty to foster new growth, nurture growing things, and work for rebirth and renewal. Perfect yourself. Be fertile in mind and in body. Bring hope. Wherever you go, plant seeds of hope, new ideas, and plans for a rosy future in the minds of all. Think ahead. Consider the consequences of your actions, so that your least effort may bring the greatest and best reward. Avoid negativity, for from death comes life, and there is always another morning to turn a setback into a success. Rules are secondary. Place more importance in activities that help others than in strict adherence to rules, rituals, and the dictates of your seniors.
They're very wise words. I remember them.
He reaches out a hand to try and touch yours.
You should put her hand in his.
His hand is very cold to the touch, and, well, you're basically touching a corpse at this point. It is not a pleasant feeling. But even so, you notice that your father has a very strong reaction to this as you see him reacting to the warm touch of a living being. And not so much just a living being, but his very own daughter, of which he might not have even known your existence. Just making sure, did Farron know that your mom was pregnant with you?
I don't think so.
I don't think he did, right? No. So
No.
this is very much a shock to him. But you notice recognition as he does recognize your mother in you, as you basically look like your mother's twin sister. He opens his eyes again and says, Casariel, I don't know how you got into these lands, but these lands are dangerous. And if even our order has fallen to darkness, trying to preserve the light, then all hope may be lost.
I came here
But-
looking for her.
Your mother is still around, from what I know. And hope may be restored if you help the Order. He points at the door of the mausoleum and says, "Our leader, our shining example, lies and rests in this tomb. But even those that rest are not safe from his grasp. The Lord of Darkness came and stole the head of our leader and brought it back to his castle, desecrating this place and our leader's body. Return his skull to the mausoleum so that our leader may rest once again, and hope may yet shine on Barovia."
I have so many questions.
Sorry, what was that?
I have so many questions.
Let's see, where were we? So,
We have to get a skull. John's
yes.
what? Like a did Strahd or sorry, somebody take a skull, a human skull from there?
Farron will look past Casariel to John and say, "Our leader was no human."
A dragon.
He nods, looking at Carla, and says, "Lord Argynvostholt, while enjoying spending time between humans as one of them, was indeed a dragon."
My God. Strahd has his. Well. The Lord has his skull.
I feel like we've seen a green dragon bones recently. Was he green?
He was silver,
Oh,
pristine silver.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm John. Very pleasant to meet you. Sorry, Casariel. Never mind.
He briefly regards and nods at you, and then looks back at Casariel. John, are you still wearing the clasp that you got from Casariel, which is technically her father's?
100%.
Or did Casariel take that?
Oh, unless she took it back from me. Yeah.
Did you, Casariel?
What she gave him was the amulet of the Dawnbreaker, which was her father's. That's what you mean?
Yeah, and is he still wearing that?
No, I asked for it back when we were headed up the trail. That's what
Right,
she present.
I thought you did. I just wanted to double check. In that case, he does regard John and nods at him, and then looks back at you, Casariel.
I have so many questions.
And perhaps I have answers. My mind is fading, but I will help my daughter where I can.
How did you end up here?
I served Lord Argynvostholt while we were helping refugees from the surrounding areas. People were flooding to our mansion, seeking refuge from the raging war in this land. When the war came to our doorstep, we defiantly opposed Lord Strahd, but he slaughtered most of us, including Lord Argynvostholt. Few remained, still bound in servitude to the Dragon Lord. It was then that I joined their ranks. Your mother disappeared, the rest of our adventuring party slain and thrown into the abyss. I decided to join the one thing that I agreed with, as there is no escaping this land. We stood against Strahd a second time, but there is no defeating the Dark Lord so easily. What we didn't know is that Strahd by then had stolen the skull from our Dragon Lord, thereby removing part of our magical bond. Strahd did not so easily choose to kill us and let us go. He decided to let us live a half-life, not dead, not alive. This fate is not for me, but for all my comrades within Argynvostholt. Some of us still have fading memories of the day that we were turned. Others lost and succumbed to complete vengeance and anger and hatred for him who took what was most sacred from us.
Argynvostholt stand against him after he took the gems from the Fays. Do you know anything about that?
You see a blank expression in his face, and after a couple of seconds he says, "That I do not know."
The dark power in this land, is it the Lord Strahd or something else?
He pauses for a second and says, "It is through Strahd, a dark power indeed." Strahd is the Dark Lord, but even he is just a vessel.
Will you be saved?
You see, your father has trouble with that idea. And he looks at you again as he has been staring to the ground for a couple of seconds and says, "There are some of us which think that all life must be saved, no matter how far away from life they have gotten. And there are those of us who think that there are borders to our forgiveness. I feel that we must save what we can save. Our commander disagrees."
My friends are helping me. They came here with me. I came here looking for my mother. Found her. I hesitate to tell you where. She is in the service of Lord Strahd.
If your mother is in service of Lord Strahd, that can mean two things. It seems that your mother has succumbed to the Dark Lord, or your mother has found the exact place where she can exact revenge and repair this land And you see for the first time, as he says this, a small curl of smile on his face. It would befit your mother to be the latter.
Yes, it would. This is John, who you've met, and Carla. Lilac Heart.
No. I've been reaching out. Did you send that vision?
He closes his eyes for a second, and as you say those words, he slowly nods and says, I had heard faint whispers on the wind and did not know where they came from. Yes, I believe we had a brief contact.
Thank you for leading us here.
My mother used to sing a nursery rhyme to me when I was young. I believe it spoke of this place. Told me I had to bring back his relics to where they belong.
Your
Is there
father,
anything-
at these words, smiles warmly for the first time, as warm as a corpse can smile. And the only thing he does is he very slowly turns towards the door and points at the inscription that is on there. Do you look at the inscription?
Absolutely.
As you get closer to the door, you notice that the doors themselves are set in marble and have a writing on them that depicts an all too familiar song.
Gonna step forward and sort of put her hands on the cool marble, place her cheek to it, and then she'll listen. She can hear her mother singing it. Just traces the words with her fingertip as so much of her childhood is just coming together now. What she's searched for so long is finally starting to make sense. And she'll just sort of step back. She sang this to me as a child.
Your father very slowly nods and says, I know.
Alex, is there something besides this skull that we need to bring?
He shakes his head and he says, it is our leader, that is the fallen hero. He is the righteous crusader of silver and gold. It is his head that must be returned. And if you can, and if you will, it will bring back hope, and it may yet turn the tide for those in this land.
I'm gonna turn back to the other two. You just look at them.
Bella looks almost conflicted on her own face, where she has this relief that you can talk to your father and that we are getting these answers, but this other part of her, when he was mentioning stuff about saved, you can see that's definitely clinging. There's a lot of regret and sort of like anguish there.
John's just happy. You seem almost hopeful. Something. You look more excited, even though it is a dreary place. You look more excited than you have in a while. So he's sort of just watching along, fascinated. Stoker is biting John's ankles.
So, Argynvost's skull within Castle Ravenloft, do you know where it lies?
It has been a long time since I've braved the area near that castle. But the castle has an elaborate dungeon. When Ravenloft was first constructed, it was made as an homage to his mother. And it was made to become the new family castle of the family von Zarovich. As such, the castle was constructed with tombs for everyone of the family and those they hold dear. As you can imagine, the dungeons stretch far and wide. If the skull is to be placed anywhere within the castle, the dungeons would be the most logical place. But remember, a place of such evil is not so easily navigated.
Yes. Your lord, did he rule this land before Strahd came in, or simply your order?
Only our order. This land was governed by kings and regents before, but not by us, not by him.
You mentioned him acting sort of another's will. Do you know what this overarching darkness is, if it is not Strahd himself?
It's a very good question, and I kind of feel he does, so I'm going to give it a roll. He closes his eyes for a moment and says, I feel I might have had this knowledge, but my mind is fading.
What are
The
you?
darkness. I am dead, but a lust for vengeance and retribution has brought me back. Residing in my own body as it was struck down, my thirst for retribution and justice will keep me locked here, and if this body were to ever be destroyed, my soul will find another body to pursue my goal for justice, as is the same with my brethren.
So
I am
sorry.
a revenant.
Is that like
Yo,
specific to your order or all paladins? Or is that something I have to worry about?
Yes, John, this is something you too would very much have to worry about if vengeance and retribution and honor and justice are your tenets.
Nope. Hope and peace. I should be fine.
Lord.
How do I save you? Surely there must be a way. My mother is here. If we get the skull, and we bring the skull back, then what?
Your father takes in a deep breath and closes his eyes and says, I know not if vengeance or honor or justice is what keeps me bound to this world, but it varies from brother to brother in our brotherhood. But I feel that if the soul of our commander is laid to rest, that might give hope to this land, which is what we all wish. That might give us final rest.
Did you know Saint Andrel? He seemed to be a friend of Strahd's, but also a worshipper of the Morning Lord, no?
He seemed trying to grasp at memories, and ultimately he says, I feel that name has been dedicated to chapels and churches and places of worship, but that must be before my time.
Understandable.
John's gonna step forward. Oh, God, Carla.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
I'm not sure if I know much about your order, sir, but I will say, I've been fighting alongside your daughter for many years. I've never met a stronger, wiser, and more beautiful priestess of Saloon, and I think you would have been proud of her. And steps back.
And he looks proud at those words, but give me a persuasion check on that.
As I step backwards, I trip over something and get a natural 1. And that's going to be a 5.
Okay. I'm glad I said it. He is very proud of what you said, and we're just going to leave it at that.
Casariel will bend down and help John up.
Sorry.
That's fine. It was sweet. What you said was no. It was nice. Tap him on the shoulder.
He is incredible, Carla will point out. Incredibly powerful.
She can
And if you could have any hope for this land, if truly there is hope for this land, I do think it may be possible with her and with us. We should be immensely, immensely proud. Is there anything within this hold that could possibly be of use to us, to help us on this journey to restoring your order, your master?
I feel one item might be of use. But that decision lies not with me, but with our commander. He sits in his throne on the 3rd floor. My brethren will be cautious, but accepting of you. But do know that even in our current state, we are being beset by evil powers. Not all of us are so easily trusting.
There were some very aggressive knights out on the road. Would they happen to have been from your order?
Fallen soldiers are littered across this realm, some of them bound by blind hatred. They might have been from our order, but they were lost to darkness.
We are in danger here.
In danger, not. But keep an eye out, for not all of us are still clear-minded.
Do you know if there's anything we can do or say, a symbol we might present to bring them back to sanity? I'd rather avoid fighting any of your order if I can.
Farron looks at Casariel and says, "Speak of my name, and it might help them in recognizing you."
You not come with us.
I have been instructed to guard this mausoleum, and it is my honor-bound duty to do so until the final day.
I'm very proud to be your daughter. Very proud.
He nods at you and then steps forward and takes both of your hands in his, and as he looks deep into your eyes, he prays and says,
Farewell, illuminated one, until we meet again. We carry the sun in our hearts until then. Give us the strength to carry on until the next dawn. We greet your ally, the Moon Maiden. Her silver light guides us until then. There is always another dawn. Farewell, precious daughter.
ladies and gentlemen, the voice talent of Bimmer. Thank you so much for helping us out with those voice lines.
Amazing.
That's beautiful. That was a surprise.
Bow to Farron and watch as Casariel reacts.
We will return with the skull. I promise you that. And hopefully with my mother as well.
I will pray for you and hope that you will succeed where I have failed.
I think you might have to drag me away.
Come along.
He's gonna walk forward and put his arm on your shoulder, and it was nice to meet your dad, Casariel. I think we will be back. He'll nod to Farron.
He nods back and then assumes his guard post, standing ever vigilant, guarding the mausoleum.
Come along, Casariel. We'll help him.
She'll just like walk backwards towards them and then finally turn around.
I'm gonna peek through this door again just to see. Are they still looking at us?
They are, and they haven't moved from where they were standing.
Sort of tiptoe through. Hi. Yeah, just passing through.
Carla will give them a nod and say thank you.
They nod at you, and then the one in the middle is keeping an eye on Casariel. As she passes by, he reaches up one finger, as if to halt you. Do you walk past, or do you honor
No.
it with...
Certainly not. I stop.
He lowers his hand again and slowly speaks.
Perhaps you can help restore the Chapel of Mourning to its former glory. A gift, the icon of Ravenloft, was given to Lord Strahd before he turned to darkness. He is no longer worthy of such a great gift. It resides in the Chapel of Ravenloft. Retrieve it, and I will teach you what I know.
I will do my best.
He folds his hand in prayer and bows at you.
And she'll sort of like walk backwards again, not turning her back to him until she gets to the door. And then slip out.
Right?
What did he say?
He turns
Casariel?
back to the altar and gets back in prayer.
What did he ask for, Casariel?
Oh god. An icon. Wait a minute. Did he say the icon of Ravenloft?
He
Yeah.
very much said the icon of Ravenloft, yes.
Crap. Wait.
In character, it makes sense. It's okay.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot.
That's perfectly
He
fine.
said
Take your time.
You wanted to retrieve it? Oh no. Okay. But I have that.
Does he mean the thing that shocked me?
Oh.
Well, that's easy.
He said retrieve it, and I will teach you what I know.
Do you want to learn
We
something?
have valuable knowledge.
But we've got this really cool thing that does stuff. I guess we should give it back to him. That's not really ours.
So I'll walk back in.
Oh, by the way,
Oh, you said Ravenloft. I'm sorry.
I thought you said Ravencroft. My bad.
Yes.
Good day. Pardon me. Forgive me. Did you mean this? And I'll produce the statue.
His eyes will widen as you show that you already have the icon of Ravenloft with you.
Oops.
Yes, that is the icon. Would you hand it over?
Yes. Although it will be helpful in our journeys, but sure, if it belongs to you.
So do you hand it over?
Yes.
Okay. Feel free to remove it from your inventory. The icon of Ravenloft is handed to the priestly knight in front of you. And as he turns around and places it back on the altar, you feel a faint shimmer going through this chapel, as if the consecration is whole again here.
This place feels
The
right.
knight turns around and walks back to Casariel and says, "You held your task, and I will hold my word. I will teach you what I know, so that it may aid you in your further adventures." And his hand, deadly as it is, touches your shoulder, and for a brief moment you feel a very cold sense going through your body. And I will, after this session, work with you to allow you to be able to know all the spells that he knew that you don't know already. He taught you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 spells, of which you already know a couple. But you can add all the others to your spellbook.
Nice. Exciting.
Yes.
Okay.
I will help you with that after the session.
Cool.
Okay. Exciting. She sort of looks down and back up at him. Thank you.
Walk in the light.
And she will again just sort of step back without turning her back to him, and then turn around at the wall and exit. She kind of bumps into Carla. Sorry.
We'll move aside.
We gave him that awesome icon, and you got a pat on the shoulder.
I don't think so, Jen. I think I will have to do
All right,
quite a bit more magic now.
It was there. Oh, really? Okay.
That's
It was there.
useful.
Anyway.
So, an item on the 3rd floor.
King on the 3rd floor, I guess, or ruler, commander, something.
Yes. You don't think it's that one that we felled in the vision?
I hope not.
Oh,
Did you melt him, Casariel, or was that someone else?
I can't remember. Did I melt him? It's very vague, John. Which one?
In the vision when we were fighting the paladins that were burning that village.
Oh, the one with the pretty sword. This one.
The commander up top. I don't know. We'll see when we get up there, I suppose.
Casariel, do you pull that sword out?
I do.
All right, give me a perception check.
21.
You notice that the engraving on this sword is actually very matching to the engraving that is on this table.
Oh.
Well,
you know, trying to remember, did he give it to me?
No, you
Night
totally stole it off his corpse.
Did I? That
Yeah.
doesn't sound like me.
off of his corpse. Whose corpse? Somebody be melted?
Nanda's.
The paladin.
Yeah, I think I might have melted him. She just is gonna put that away. That's fully away.
In the dream, or?
It was in the book, chapter 1, I believe.
Oh,
You
and
guys
then
had a
she
fight
gave
in
that
a
to her.
village where Strahd was hit with a spear and had to be dragged off by the Vistani. You were
Right.
fighting a paladin, and you defeated him by melting him, indeed. And then you stole his sword.
And we brought it back. Cool. Right.
Would be a
best
trade
not show
offer
him.
for that item.
Or that. Who would have ever thought it would come to this, Casariel? Looking for the skull of a dragon in some dungeons. What an odd life.
Yes. Yes, indeed. It is very strange.
Before we go up, did we want to see if there was any champagne in here? And he points to the room with the wine casks.
Because it
Could
couldn't
use a
hurt.
glass of champagne. Mm-hmm.
Oh, the door was open when I walked by. I didn't open it.
Carla will pop her head in and have a look around.
All right. Looking inside this room, it seems this is an old wine storage with a couple of barrels that have a red writing on the top. The room itself seems to be pretty broken. There's a couple of bottles strewn about.
Yeah, she's gonna pop in, and have a look around for any remaining sort of things of champagne de la stomp, or literally anything of note in this room.
Give me an investigation check.
That is 21.
There are 2 bottles of champagne de la stomp on the ground.
I will take those immediately. Yes, they're gonna get horses. Gonna get horses. Let's go.
And as you take those with you, you hear a shuffling in the back of the room, in the shadows behind one of the barrels.
I will plop them immediately into the bag of holding. Put it up, and with my dark vision, can I kind of see what's shuffling around? If I peek my head a little further down.
You notice that behind the wine barrels, something is on the ground trying to shuffle away from your sight, and it seems that it thinks that you haven't seen it.
I'm gonna get into a fight, but message and be like, I come in peace. We're not.
You get a message back saying, "Who are you?"
We are adventurers. We also, in service of the Morning Lord, so you don't have to worry about that if you're one of the paladins. Who are you?
Do you promise me you won't hurt me?
As long as you don't hurt us, we won't hurt you. We're very friendly. My hands
Okay.
are up. You can see where they are if you come out.
Crawling on the floor very slowly, you notice that a figure is trying to come around the barrels. It is
Hello.
standing on the back side of the room and regards you. And what you're looking at is a very slender, gaunt-looking person with long black hair and, very noticeably, two very pointy ears. His skin looks very ashen grey, and you're noticing that he's wounded.
Hello. I'm Carla Lilacott. You wouldn't happen to be a dusk elf? I am friends of Casimir. We're friends of Casimir, and I'll show up my dagger to him, just like non-threateningly.
He will immediately recognize the dagger, and you notice that he, while in pain, becomes a little bit more at ease, and he says, "My name is Savid, and yes, I am one of Casimir's. The Vistani were missing a little girl, and we were out looking for her, and I was looking around here when there was a group of these walking tree things that almost looked like they were made of wooden needles that accosted me, and I had to run for my life, and I hid here in the castle, even though I know that this place is haunted. I've been trying to patch up myself, but
I'm so sorry you've gone through this. We found that young girl. She's safe. I have some healing magic, if you'll allow me.
No, we found
I'll
her
say,
days ago.
and he's been wounded, John.
Oh, yeah.
yes, if you could spare it, I would very much like it.
Absolutely, Carla will kind of reach forward and kind of hold out a hand for him. Oh, hello.
Oh. This is like the real life, when you're walking towards someone, like, and you both step into the same side. This is exactly this.
Yeah. She'll take his hand in hers, and she will cast Cure Wounds at first level to try and sort of bring back some health to him. And then she'll kind of reach into her bag and like offer a ration because, he's been here for a few days.
How much did you heal him?
Oh, that's a good number. One moment. So that is going to be 11 healing.
Wow. That brings him back to full health. Wow.
Woo. Wonderful.
Yep, and then some. So he is feeling right as rain and back on his feet, and he looks very happy at you.
It's probably still very dangerous to head home. We did get attacked by a few creatures, but we would be able to provide you assistance getting back if you just waited here. We have a small task to complete, but when we come back down, we could help you.
I prefer to leave as quickly as I can. The Vistani and the Dusk Elves, we avoid this mansion at all cost. We believe that there is a dragon ghost that haunts this place, and the only reason I came in here because it was the only place I could seek refuge.
Yes, but do be safe on the road.
Thank you.
Watch out for that dragon ghost.
Okay.
He passes you by, John, as you say that, and he just quickly shoots a glance at you like, are you for real? And then
Yeah, we saw one.
moves on.
Oh, bye.
Should we not invite him to come with us?
I think Carla did.
Well, yes, considering he was cowering in fear as well, I don't think he'd much be help upstairs, or didn't want to come with us. He was quite cute though, wasn't he? But from that then, never mind.
Why do you think they have this? And he points to the two doors right by each other. He's like, this seems rather extravagant.
The castle, John.
I know. I've seen this in rich people's houses and castles, and It just seems unnecessary.
Isn't your family from nobility?
My mom likes to say so. I don't know if we're in good graces with our more high-blooded relatives, so to speak.
Understandable. Is he just waiting there, or is he heading out?
If you're not stopping him, he's heading out.
I will just say, like, we will offer protection if you're just willing to wait, like, an hour.
Give me a persuasion check.
Sariel is watching Carla.
A
Be
natural
and her
20
nervous.
for a 24.
Wow. Okay.
Just going to, like, bat her eyelids, just being like, oh, if you, wouldn't want you to be...
Blink, blink, blink,
You know.
blinkety, blink, blink.
He looks at you,
Watch
Cara,
it.
and he says, I am over 400 years old, and this has been a long time since I've come across someone that strikes me as this trustworthy within such a short time span.
That sounds
my
more
word.
suspicious.
You look
I
way
will
younger
wait.
than you are. Are you
Well,
really
thank you.
400 years old?
103, it's not that bad when you leave it
He's-
this long.
He smirks at John and he says, well, cleave me in half and count my rings.
I don't have an axe.
Right. I think
I will wait in the wine cellar.
Wait, yes. Do you have a weapon on you? Are you okay, just in case?
I feel I'm fine here. I've been waiting here for 2 days.
What's your
It
name?
seems it's fine. My name is Savid.
Oh, yes. Sorry, you just said that.
And you are?
John, and he points to Carla.
Yes, I'm Carla, I already mentioned, and this is Casariel. Yes.
And that's Stoker.
He
We
takes
will
a
be
bow
back
at all of you.
soon. If another day passes and we don't come get you, go out on your own, of course. But it should not take more than a little while for us to complete our task.
Yeah, if we
We'll be
die, we'll probably be back before a day, though.
As you wish. I will remain here. Thank you.
Bye, Savid.
You're welcome.
Sariel is like just giving Carla the like brow up side eye.
She is distinctly not trying to catch her eye. Just bring up.
John, completely oblivious
Okay.
to this, walking upstairs.
As you're moving towards the main staircase to go up, you do hear a faint scuffle in the southern room beyond the double doors. Do you choose to go up, or do you choose?
Some scuffling
Do you
over there.
just senses guide you?
Can Stoker kind of go off chasing it, almost the sound?
Stoker is notoriously bad at opening doors as he has no opposing thumbs.
Right, but he just sort of like sits there going, looking back at us, like pleading.
Sure.
Oh, Stoker, what is it, boy? He seems to think there's something over here. We're only here
Let
for
me
the...
check it out. Alright.
Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think...
Just track Casariel off the map.
Yep, no, the teleporter actually worked. Sorry. I've been experimenting with something and it actually works. I didn't think that
Hello.
was going to work.
Well, because
There you go.
did you
Hello.
want to just go upstairs? Like, if she wants to... I didn't want to force anyone to...
I actually was just trying to. I thought went up and around the corner. I'm not sure. I was just trying to follow you.
Alright.
Teleporter works though.
I'm gonna listen to the door, put my ear to the door. Do I hear anything on the other side?
As a matter of fact, instead of scuffling, now that you put your ear to the door, you actually hear fighting going on the other side.
Oh,
You
there's
hear the
someone.
sound of metal clashing metal.
I kick the door open.
Oh, Sean.
I don't abide violence. I must stop it.
You kick the door open, and beyond this door lies a room that holds many interesting things that I will tell you about next.
No! You can't end on me kicking the door down. I don't know if I just killed the party.
Incredible.
Well, we'll have to wait for about a week until we know if you did. But yeah.
Oh,
Heavy episode.
Oh, yes.
yes.
Wow.
Very fun.
Yep.
Oh, there was a lot
Amazing.
there.
I love the
Yes.
singing. Oh my god.
The scene was incredible.
So for
The
those of you that were
marble?
wondering, yeah.
The marble with the song lyrics in it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring it all together in one place, and I couldn't have been more lucky that you mentioned it when you did, because I was gonna let your father point at it in some way and sort of like blend it into the story, and you just hit it home. You were like, "Hey, about this song," and I was like, "This is the moment! Yes, let me cue the song! Yes, this is the moment!"
Oh.
It was so perfect.
Beautiful.
So as a quick pointer, because I really want to point this out, a couple of things. As I always say, like I'm so glad and so happy that we can work together with so many talented people that help bring this story to life. The maps of Diamandi and like some of the story elements from Pyram King, which just really help like bring things together. And today we had two other things that really helped with that, which for one was the voice of your father, Farron Elcres. Casariel, you have previously very briefly played a part of the Curse of Strahd. Well, not briefly, but you played a very small part of the Curse of Strahd. With a couple of other people, one of them being Farron Elcres as, well, now your father, and you were playing, back then you were playing your mother. And Farron so graciously joined our Twitch channel, and I got in touch with him and I was like, hey, can you record a couple of things for us? And he did. So really, Bimmer, thank you for doing that. That was so cool to actually make it real like that. And secondly, of course, the song itself, which is sung by our very own Casariel. And I know, Casariel, how much you personally dislike, oh, it's my own voice and it wasn't great and whatnot. But look at how much praise you got on Twitch in the chat. People love this song, and I think we should totally put it out on YouTube in some shape or form soon, because people want this.
Yep.
But thank you. You have such a beautiful singing voice, and thank you
gosh.
for that.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, I don't think people know that actually. So I did play the Curse of Strahd previously, just a little bit of it. And when I decided that group ended. However, when I decided to play again, I had some knowledge already, and I wanted to figure out a way to play it and incorporate the knowledge that I already had into this character, so it wasn't completely meta. So I decided to play my character I had played before, his daughter, and that's where all this mother and father stuff came from. Yeah. So
And her notes for the previous campaign are basically a bit of a book that her mom left behind, which in part does not make sense with our current world because worlds differ. And in part, it gives hints at certain things, which is such a fun element to add in, that you know of a couple of things because of your mom, which makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It is great. So for that, thank you. And Namur, Farron Elcres, thank you so much for lending your voice to your own character one more time.
Yeah.
It absolutely tied everything together. Thank you for that. And with that, we will be back next week with another episode of The Curse of Strahd, episode number 28, when we will know if John killed the party or not. I will tell you one thing, and that is that he will be shocked. We'll see you next week.
I hold up my wand of lightning bolts. What? Okay.
No.
Next week, more Curse of Strahd. We will see you then. You have a wonderful week. I'll see you in 7 days. Bye, everybody.
Love you.